what's up, everybody? So I gotta link up my YouTube chat now, since we're trying the Twitch stream today. So we'll do YouTube first, and then we'll do Twitch. Twitch is going to be in that bottom little window on the right-hand side. So we figure out how we're going to work all of that.
He told WSBT he was very impressed with everything he saw. It's the only plant in the country that manufactures Humvees, one of the busiest vehicles in the American arsenal. Esper says equipping soldiers with the latest technology.
What the heck happened there? YouTube chat got massive. What? I don't know what that's about, folks. Hold up.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, first warning forecast.
I didn't touch that. Why on earth is that?
Near 40 degrees, but keep in mind it's going to be breezy today, making it feel even colder. For tonight, we drop down to 22 degrees underneath clear skies, and tomorrow, plenty of
that's
sunshine
weird.
with a daytime high getting to 46 degrees. In the ABC7 First Warning Neighborhood Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Emily Kennedy.
Right now, sunny, windy, 39 at the 95.3 MNC studios. I'm Sean.
That's better. All right. So now I got to do the Twitch.
Construction season means slowdowns and road closures. Get traffic and weather every 10 minutes on the 6s. Weekday mornings on 95.3 MNC. Your breaking news and weather station.
News powered by Sue Kramer Interiors. Elegance and style. Value your home with brands like Stickley, Hancock, Theodore, Alexander, and Hickory White. You're invited to their home. Sue Kramer Interiors at University Drive in Granger.
And hopefully that is functional, but I don't know.
Son, it's all
so we will see.
You buttoned up nice, and the ring is with Bobby. Honestly, it's your mother I'm worried about. When you announced the engagement, all I saw was a flash of dresses and clothes all over the house for the next month. Your mom is very excited for you, and she just wants everything to be perfect. She's getting ready now, and I'm sure she's a hot mess.
Dad, don't worry. I sent her to Judy's.
All right, we'll find out. So Twitch should be below that white line.
Browse through top designers with specially trained associates, Judy girls, who provide personal color.
And hopefully it works. If that chat doesn't work, I've got another plug-in to work with, and we will see.
Oh, so below that one.
Was that?
I'm looking at it on the computer.
Judy's, it's the best brands for the best you.
TV, Casey the host.
Yeah. Yippity yippity yip.
See how this works.
Thank you, John. Appreciate it, bud. How is everybody doing, by the way?
Don't despair because Martha Stewart is doing a free taste test, giving away
game I was just talking about.
meals from her new meal
We have
kit
one
delivery
person
service.
watching.
So, okay, so the Twitch chats are not showing up on the Twitch.
Someone just.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I
So
don't
there's a
think
delay.
I get 3 free meals. Be one of the
All right, so there's a pretty big delay there.
Food to
How big a delay?
246810.
Pretty big, because I logged in, there was like 4.
Martha and Marley spoon meals are
Oh,
easy
So
to
I'm going to try and adjust
And
the
right now,
size of it.
Martha wants you to enjoy 3 of her best
I'm gonna
30-minute
change
meals
that.
for free, so you can
Oh,
save time and
dear.
enjoy
Because I
eating
don't
dinner
like it
again.
too
To be
too
part of
big.
Martha's at-home taste test and get your 3 free
There we
meals,
go.
be one of the first
Much
100
better.
people to text
All right, I'll keep
food
it at
to
20.
246810. That's food to 246810. Food to 246810.
So Despota says it's not that bad. All right, sweet. Okay, folks, here we go. First live stream on Twitch for the radio program. Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send me a text message at 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. I can already feel it. My throat is, and my voice are already starting to go. As you know, I've been getting over a little something, and I've had several shows that I've done today for the radio station. Then, of course, we had Pass the Mic at Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill today. Huge success again. Thank you so much for everybody who came out and supported the show. We do that once a quarter over at Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill, and it was a packed house there again today. So it was a lot of fun too. Got to do a couple of things that I wanted to get done, and didn't get to everything. But it's an hour and a half, and you're having lunch, and you got people there, and it's just there to have a good time. So if you haven't been out to one of those Pass the Mics, you got to come out to Pass the Mic. I also want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. Once again, if you mention me, you get 50% off your range time. Go to secondamendmentarms.net, and you can get more information about that. All right, so, geez, there's so many things that I could get to. So Fridays, we know that we do like to do clearing, clearing of all the stories we didn't get to. We also like to hit the big stuff. We'll get to all of that. Today, unfortunately, big news in Elkhart again. Elkhart can't stay out of the news. And this has obviously gone national. This is one of those stories that has already garnered national attention. ProPublica came in, teamed up with the South Bend Tribune, and they've been covering the Elkhart Police Department ever since. 2 Elkhart officers were indicted yesterday by a federal grand jury for using excessive force against the suspect, according to the Department of Justice. This is in regards to that video that showed the officers beating a handcuffed suspect to the ground at the Elkhart police station. Once again, he was spitting on them, and I'm not justifying it, okay? It's just context, I think, is important, because he was spitting on them, and they were attempting to gain control. Now, they said they repeatedly hit him as a result of him continuing to try to spit on them, all right? There was another officer in another city here recently, a week or two ago, who's on video knocking the guy out cold. Handcuffed guy, spit on him, he popped him, dude went to sleep. That officer got in a lot of trouble. So this case, which is already in the national spotlight, after that case happened, now we've got this one with the indictment, which, again, to be perfectly honest, we all kind of expected to happen. It's just an indictment, okay? We don't know what's ultimately going to happen as a result of this. The Department of Justice says 35-year-old Corey Newland and 30-year-old Joshua Titus are charged with deprivation of rights under color of law for using unreasonable force against the arrestee. I think most of you now have probably seen the video. There is video of that incident floating around for those of you who might be watching for the first time in another market. Maybe you don't know about the Elkhart Police Department situation that's been happening over the past several months. I assure you the video is there. It'll also be in the Daily Show Prep today at theburningtruth.us. So here is the full press release. Corey Newland, 35, Joshua Titus, 30, officers with the Elkhart, Indiana Police Department, this is city, not county, were indicted yesterday by a federal grand jury in Hammond for using excessive force against an arrestee. The indictment charges Newland and Titus with a single count of deprivation of rights under color of law, which is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 242 for using unreasonable force against an arrestee. Now, according to the allegations set forth in the indictment, ML, that's the person who's under arrest, was brought into the booking area of the Elkhart Police Department and seated in a chair with his hands cuffed behind his back. While sitting in the chair, ML spat in the direction of Newland. The indictment alleges that Newland and Titus then repeatedly struck ML in the face, causing him to fall backwards onto the floor, at which point Newland and Titus continued to punch him repeatedly while ML remained handcuffed on the floor. The indictment further alleges that Newland and Titus's actions resulted in bodily injury to ML. My office takes allegations of civil rights violations seriously, including use of excessive force by police officers sworn to uphold the law, said the U.S. Attorney Thomas Kirsch. Maintaining integrity in the criminal justice system by investigating and prosecuting police officers who step out of bounds with the law while working with, training, and promoting good relationships with law enforcement who operate within the law are important functions of my office. Today's indictments send a clear message that the FBI won't tolerate abuse of power or victimization of citizens by anyone in law enforcement. That is Grant Mendenhall. That's the statement that is very interesting. And we actually talked about this at Pass the Mic. So why is a special agent for the FBI issuing such a personal statement about a case that they're just getting? Now, he's a special agent with the Indianapolis division, but he says today's indictment sends a clear message that the FBI won't tolerate the abuse of power or victimization of citizens by anyone in law enforcement. Just seems like a very personal and opinionated statement from the FBI regarding local law enforcement in a case involving 2 officers. Just seemed a little strange to a lot of us. The alleged actions by these individuals went against everything in the oath that they took to serve and protect. Again, more very personal, very opinionated statements from the FBI. This charge carries a maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment and a $250,000 fine for both defendants. That's the maximum, okay? An indictment is merely an accusation, and the defendants are presumed innocent unless proven guilty. This case was investigated by FBI Indianapolis Field Office and is being prosecuted by the Assistant U.S. Attorney Jennifer Chang of the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Northern District of Indiana and trial attorney Zachary Dembo of the Civil Rights Division. All right, 574-2595-95-3. That is 2595-953. I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. Do you feel that these charges are appropriate? Do you feel that they are excessive? Do you feel that the punishment that they are facing, 10 years in prison, $250,000, seems to be a little bit much, or do you think it's right on point? This has been a very interesting case because, frankly, the audience has been divided about this over the past several months as we've discussed this. I have law enforcement who believes the book should be thrown at these people. Many officers have contacted me. Some retired officers who hang out in the live stream have contacted me and made their statements very, very public. They believe the book should be thrown at these guys. Others say spitting at a police officer is assault and the officers can defend themselves, even if the guy's handcuffed. So there's a lot of people who think it's not that bad. Okay? People have different opinions about this. I've never defended their actions. Most of what we were talking about coming up to this was dealing with the police chief, who's now the former police chief, and the mayor and how it was being conducted and how the mayor was being put in a very tough position because his son was in the room, even though his son didn't engage in the activity of the assault. So this has been just one of those cases that Elkhart just can't shake. Okay. And when you look at the punishment of this, first of all, I definitely think that the statements from the FBI investigator in charge, I think that is very personal. I find that to be unusual. That's Grant Mendenhall, special agent in charge of the FBI's Indianapolis division. Very strange to me to have that strong of a statement come out of the FBI. But a maximum penalty of 10 years imprisonment, $250,000 fine. Now, that's the maximum. Again, they can easily get a lot less. I'm just pointing it out that that's the max. So the potential here is real serious. It really is. Also want to let everybody know we are doing something totally different today, okay? We are not only broadcasting on YouTube at youtube.com/Casey the host. We're not doing Facebook today. We are doing Twitch. So this is the first time that I have live streamed the radio show on Twitch. So if you're watching on Twitch and you have no idea who the heck I am and you're like, hey, I'm just here to play video games, what's going on? Radio talk show host in Mishawaka, which covers Indiana and Michigan. And we are with 95.3 MNC. But if you go to twitch.tv/Casey the host, I posted links on the Facebook page and on my Twitter for you to just click right on it and be able to go ahead and hang out. So if you want to just watch on Twitch, that's totally cool. You can do that. You don't need to sign up or sign in or anything of that nature. If you want to interact, you can watch on YouTube as well. It's really your choice. We're going to take your phone calls on this. Get your thoughts on these officers and the indictment against them coming up on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Alrighty, well, I'll go ahead and put you back on hold, Ben. Take you on there.
Visit Prime Table today for
No problem.
lunch, or dinner.
All right. Yeah. So despite it, I will. But also, I'm trying to ease people into it. There's a lot of people in the audience who are like, holy crap, he keeps sending us to other social media. What's he doing? So I want to ease people into it.
Yeah, they can follow, which is very basic.
They still have to have an account, though, right?
Yes, you have to have an
So
account.
if you want to
Not
follow,
free.
just,
There is a Twitch Prime option, which means you can give people money.
Correct.
People make a
I'm not even going to go into the money thing at this point right now. I just want people to kind of understand that they can follow. The goal isn't to make money with the
I'm on here if you want to mod me in Twitch too.
okay. All right, let me hop over.
Tweet it and get on
So
there in a second. Let me go ahead and just
do.
Driving down the road, the salt, sludge,
Snow is covering your car.
There you go. I'm in the chat so you can just find
All right.
Worse than it is.
Sweet.
One of the finest exterior auto washes in Parkwood Auto Spa.
All right, so I'm gonna add you as a friend first.
And Mishawaka off at its
Oh, I could block you and report you too, so I should just do that.
you're a user.
Mod user. Okay, you're modded. Friend request is sent. You're modded.
Visit one of their locations or go to parkwoodautospot.com.
Oh, yeah, right there. It says
And don't
friend.
forget to download their new app.
And you can go
We're
to
super best friends.
you can go to other parts of this
winter with Parkwood Autospot.
I don't know why that.
site, and the video is still playing. And I like
That's yeah. You can surf around.
YouTube needs to implement that in the mobile browser.
Autospot.com for more details.
It's because you can do it in mobile.
Come as you are.
Can't do it in
Stay
web.
in your car.
Ransom wants to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
For the last time on our uneven sidewalk, we have to
Yeah,
Came out this year, didn't it?
yeah. Nukes is Kami Joe.
That's me.
I don't know why that white bar is there though. What the hell is that? I haven't played with the colors or anything, so let me.
Janet's 130 is the username I've had for long time.
What type of process are we talking about?
First, they drill small holes on the
Just
surface
for
of your
as long as I've
concrete,
been
and
on
then they
the internet.
hydraulically pump an environmentally friendly compound underneath the concrete. And once the desired level is reached, they seal off
I should have a
the
little
cement
red key.
mixture. The newly repaired concrete can even be used the same day.
A1 Concrete Leveling. Correcting your concrete one level at a time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to play with
For
the
more information
chat.
Or a free estimate,
I don't
call
have a red key, but I don't have like a little thing that's open
574-862-3146.
I just said I just chose mod user. Do I have to do something else?
I don't know.
Just remember, Michiana, don't replace
There's
it,
like-
level it.
Since 1956,
I don't need to create a moderator room.
Provide top quality service and selection of the
I don't
finest pianos in the region.
Just-
Through the month of March, you can save money on all pianos.
Hold on, let me see what I can do.
Oh, wait, yeah, I have a ban user and timeout. Yeah, I have a mod privileges. I just don't have a thing that says I'm a mod.
Okay, mod tools, mod icons. Boom. There you go.
Yay.
All right, you got it.
Now I'm special.
You got it.
Which is interesting.
I'm a noob.
It's like everyone else has like that little like red crown thing or whatever. That
Yeah.
shows, like, hey, I'm a mod, so you can ask me questions.
You know, PlayStation actually makes streaming to Twitch like really, really easy. Really, I mean, they did a good job integrating it.
Stream,
Yeah.
when we did the Injustice 2 like 12-hour stream because we wanted to play through the entire story mode.
Yeah, I don't know what that white bar is, folks, but
That's separating the two windows.
yeah, but I have the windows flush with one another, so I don't know why there's that white bar. That is purely in the Twitch widget.
Oh, the Twitch stream showed the mod icon, but like the stream window showed the mod icon, but it didn't show it.
Weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's strange. So you got the sword, right? Yeah, the
Yeah,
sword
the green
says.
sword
Yeah,
is the
okay.
mod icon. And then yours is like
Okay.
when you go in, it's a different thing.
All right. So
So then you're like, I'm the host. Oh, I love how I never know which songs are going to show up, so no matter what I do, it's always loud.
Oh yeah. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. So Frank, hit me up. We'll take your phone calls here on the Elkhart Police Officers just in a second. Don't go anywhere. But Frank hit me up and said, hey, do those people who threatened to have words with you, did they show up to pass the mic? No, of course not. They're keyboard warriors. Why would they show up? All right, to the phone lines we go, getting a reaction to the indictment of the two Elkhart police officers who were on video beating the handcuffed suspect who was spitting on them. Bob, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey, man, thanks so much for having me, Casey.
My pleasure. What's up?
Yeah, well, as far as the Elkhart officers, there's, in my opinion, a couple elements that have to be taken into consideration.
Okay.
And one is that Elkhart, for decades, has had a reputation of doing things like this. Now, that doesn't go towards all the officers and doesn't mean they're all bad or anything, but they have had a reputation for roughing guys up in the past. Now, I don't think that those officers should face 10 years in prison. I don't think they should get any time in jail.
Okay.
But I do think that they should probably lose their jobs. I mean, the guy's handcuffed, and that was excessive.
Okay.
When you're in that chair and you're handcuffed to that chair, if you're spitting on people, you can. They have a mask, a hood that they can put on you.
Sure.
You know, they didn't have to pummel the guy like that. They went overboard on that.
Okay.
And I have a great deal of respect for law enforcement. You know, so I don't think that they should face any jail time. But I do think that it was excessive and that they should probably lose their jobs over it, to be honest.
Okay. Hey, like I said, the possibility here up to 10 years in prison, $250,000 fine. But you're saying, you know, prison time, no, definitely lose their job. You know, they shouldn't be in law enforcement, that sort of thing. But you know, we'll also see how this all plays out. This is just the indictment phase of all of this. And as the case progresses, we'll start to figure out. There might even be plea agreements and things like that. But, you know,
Casey, any time in jail is insane. I mean, if I'm at a party or a bar or a get together or walking down the street and I punch a guy in the face twice,
yeah,
I don't get any jail time over it. I get some probation.
Yeah, you'll get a fine. Maybe if it's really bad, you'll get a night. But
yeah, you know, I mean, they're cops and the guy's already committed a crime. He's handcuffed. He's spitting on them. You know, so I don't think they deserve any jail time, but they do represent law enforcement. You know, that's
sure.
That's what they are. They're cops, you know, and that's a bad look. That doesn't look good for them.
Fair enough, man. You know? I appreciate the call, bud. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me, Casey.
You take care. You too. Yep. So, again, this has divided the audience. I have law enforcement people who are divided on this. I've got most of the audience divided on this. We've been talking about it for the past several months. Janet, welcome to the program.
Hey, Casey.
Hi there.
I think there's a couple of ways that this needs to be approached. Number one, I think the AG is trying to make a name for themselves. Number two, I think force was excessive after he hit the ground. But my understanding is spitting on somebody is considered assault. So something that all departments could start doing is putting face masks on the prisoners as they come in and are being booked, and that way they can't spit on anybody.
Just do it automatically?
Pardon me?
Just do it automatically?
Yes.
Interesting.
I think it should just be a part of the whole booking thing. If you're going to have somebody there in handcuffs, the only thing they can do to retaliate against you is spit on you. So if you ask them, they can't do it.
Gotcha.
The COs and the police are already wearing gloves, so why not ask for the first under arrest?
All right. Janet, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm just going to let you go because that sound is driving me nuts. But, okay, I don't know how that's going to work out. And to be perfectly honest with you, I think it's a reasonable suggestion. You know, hey, if we've got an issue with spitting, then bring somebody in, just kind of have that automatically be the process. But at some point in time, the mask has to come off, and then you're open to spitting at that point too. They've made the argument in the past. Some have that. Yes, you could put the hood on them, but at the same time, you're running the risk of being spit on in the middle of that. You don't know if this person has HIV, AIDS, some other disease that can get to you. So, the officers taking the stance that they took could very well be the most effective way to keep the individual from continuing to spit on them. Remember, the officers are alleging that he was continuing to try to spit on them as they were hitting him on the ground, and that was the only reason they were trying to hit him on the ground after they knocked him over. Okay. I don't know if that's true. You can't see that in the video. The camera's too far away. I'm just telling you what they have alleged. I could also say that I think most people who are spit on, that is one of the most egregious offenses that you can possibly do to another person. We see this on the athletic field a lot, especially in football. You guys can have words. You can say anything you want about somebody and their mom, but the moment somebody spits, that's when you start seeing these huge brawls, these bench clearing brawls and things like that happen, because that is just considered the ultimate insult. Now, I'm not saying that the officers shouldn't have restrained themselves. I'm just saying that there is a natural emotional button that people have for being spit on. Maybe that needs to be factored in here, and a little bit of that could possibly be factored in when you're talking about the case where you're going, all right, yeah, but he did spit on him. It is assault. There is a risk of disease and things like that. There's obviously a cultural thing that goes with that as well, and the officers responded in kind. So you have to forgive them some of the heightened emotional states that they might have been in. And others are going to say, no, they're law enforcement. They're supposed to be more professional and rise above all of that. At the end of the day, we've had Elkhart police representatives in here. He said at the end of the day, look, police are human beings, and sometimes they make mistakes. There's emotions that are real, that are involved in these things, and sometimes things happen. Again, it's not a justification of what happened, but at the same time, is potential for 10 years and $250,000. Is that really the appropriate next step with this? Mitch, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. What's up?
Is Casey?
Yeah.
Hey, I hope I'm one of these people that called to sit on the jury, because I'd let these cops go in a heartbeat.
Well, you have to declare that if you get called for jury duty, right?
Well, I'll keep that secret.
Oh, you'll keep that secret. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah.
So you don't think
this stuff.
Yeah, you don't think that they now? Do you think that they did anything wrong, or you just disagree with what their potential sentence could be?
I don't disagree with what they did. I don't. The cops, they put up with enough garbage as it is.
Okay.
They don't have to put up with that.
Now
I'd let them walk.
Now, if you're going to say that they put up with enough garbage, though, does that then run the risk of them, say, stepping out of line with other circumstances? So we just had another case where a guy was arrested for flipping police officers off, which the courts have repeatedly ruled you're allowed to do. Would because they're putting up with that, would your argument also kind of extend into other circumstances where potentially, I don't have to put up with that, I'm a cop?
Well,
or we just talking about this?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but this is physical.
Okay.
The guy may not have raised an arm to him, but he probably would have had he been given the chance. But he did spit on him. Like you said, don't know what this guy's carrying, what he's got going on with him. And I just feel for the cops. I think they do a hard job, and they get no respect anymore.
Well, I think there's some definite truth there. All right, Mitch, I appreciate it, bud. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, take care. So we did several callers, all kind of different opinions on this. And, he's got a fair point. At least we're dealing with a physical element here versus just an emotional one. And I appreciate that. I mean, this is a tough case. There's a lot of people, too, who've called and who have law enforcement experience who have said, a lot of these bad guys, we get them in there. They're trying to spit on us. Their goal is to spit on us because they want us to react in the way that these officers did, because they know it leads to this. They know that it leads to some kind of public outrage. They know that it could lead to a lawsuit, that they could come into money as a result of this. And so this could be what I guess technically inmate, detainee, if you will, this is what he kind of wanted. And unfortunately, it is playing out to fruition. But with the indictments, we're still looking at up to 10 years and $250,000 in fines. And a lot of people think that might be excessive for what they did. All right, we've got a couple more phone calls on this. Don't forget, we are live streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/Casey the Host. And for the first time, we're live streaming the radio show on Twitch today at twitch.tv/Casey the Host. You can also go follow there on Twitch as well. More coming up. Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. MNC News Time is 3:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
All righty. Did I see that correctly? Did Freak Fighter say that he's hosted? Yeah, Freak Fighter says he's hosted my video to all 10 of his followers. Despotic? Despotic. I didn't know that you could host other people's videos on your channel. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a very common occurrence. Like a lot of bigger channels will go through some of their smaller friends in what's called a raid.
Interesting.
Streams, so they'll take like a bunch of them with them and they'll host and bring this like a bunch of their viewers with them to view.
So what's the whisper thing? Is that like chat?
That's like their direct message.
Okay. So it's chatting, but it's private.
Mm-hmm. It's a DM.
Sweet. We got Dale O'Finn on there as well. Got Tracy's, of course, on there. Tracy's always on my Twitch, which is great.
viewers.
Yeah, I got 8 viewers over here right now. That's awesome.
In my follow channels thing, it says 7, but on the live it says 8. So.
Despotic, I just sent a friend request over to you because you're always around.
We've had 59 people coming in view.
Sweet.
People like, okay, cool.
That's pretty neat. Oh, he's a crazy conservative. Get out of here.
It's a large platform, and you're in like the normal average, I think. Because like everyone was like, because Friday was popular, so a bunch of like a couple thousand people in the top 6. And then like going down to like 9, 10, 6, 5. So we're not doing too bad.
Cool.
Going in check.
Well, I know that I've got a couple of my devotees out there that really want me to get that Twitch partnership or whatever they call it.
I don't know what it is.
So
I do not know what it takes to get to.
Al, who again is prior law enforcement, they should have put a mask on him and then strapped him into a restraining chair.
When you watch the video, it looks real.
When you watch what?
When you watch the video.
The video? Yeah, it's pretty aggressive.
I understand where it's coming from. As a civilian watching it, it's just like...
A lot of civilians don't like it. A lot of cops don't like it. But then there's, you know, those who are like, you know, don't spit on people.
Which I get.
I think there's so many people that understand how they would react emotionally if they were spit on. I think that plays into it as well.
Yeah.
News powered by Polymax of 4 Lakes, now offering flavored ultra-salt full-spectrum CBD oil. Ask about it today and come taste what it means to make American food great again.
Polymax at 4 Lakes, locally raised meats made to order American classics like walleye, bluegill, haddock, hand-cut Chairman's Reserve steaks, slow-smoked ribs, double bacon, double cheeseburgers, wings, and a full bar to put the finishing touches on your visit. Just a short drive from anywhere in Mishawaka. We're located between the 9th and 10th holes of 4 Lakes Golf Course on Highway 12 in Edwardsburg, and we are open to the public. Check out our daily specials today. Visit Tuesdays through Saturdays to taste what it means to make American food great again.
Looking for a cool way to get a new AC or furnace without breaking.
Sorry, I'm dealing with house buying stuff in the middle of all of this too. So.
Experts gets you a high-quality AC or furnace for one low monthly rate. There's no money down, never a charge for repairs, and seasonal tune-ups are free. Right
Speed's
now,
on there now.
AC or furnace as low as $99 a month,
Hey,
and
Speed.
no additional charges ever. So call BW Cook Service Experts today at 866-EXPERT or visit bwcook.com.
For expert service guaranteed, call 866-EXPERT.
Hey. More chaos with the house. More chaos with the house. I hate buying houses. I know you've heard me say that a million times, but I hate buying houses. Speed, turn the shop computer. Speed, you're the boss now. Can't you, like, do whatever the hell you want?
Hogs again, the big story with the June contract jumping. Short covering, though, in corn in May goes up 2 cents to $3.78 in the quarter. July finished at $3.87.
To anyone who's not familiar with it, if you are anyone who's around here, we're currently in commercial, so there's not really a lot of talking going on right now.
Who says what?
I don't know, because like we had 11, now we're on 9, 10.
Oh,
Fluctuations.
yeah, I've got 10. Yeah, commercial break happening right now. Yeah.
Yeah, radio show.
Part of not having the commercials being able to play over this is that you really don't get all of that all the time. So when people kind of hop in, they don't know who I am. They're like, why is he not saying anything? What the hell?
Yeah. Oh, Twitch partner would take 75 viewer average. And then it's something else.
Swizzo Dizzo. I gotta log into the text messaging too.
The Windows XP machine is struggling.
Poor XP.
I think that's what this computer's running. The one that's running the station.
General Motors continues to be a strong company, and that's what allows us to make announcements today, investing in the future with an all-new electric vehicle.
And today's announcement, the automaker making a $300 million investment to build a new electric car at an assembly plant at Orion, Michigan, which will create 400 new jobs. The announcement is part of GM's plan to invest $1.8 billion.
Even the text messages, guys, just totally
mixed.
Totally mixed. I mean, just every time I talk about this, it is a gambit of opinions, man. Yeah, the gambit. I mean, this broke right before we did Pass the Mic today, too. And, of course, Brian Dickerson, who's the city council president, he's a guest. He was just coming to hang out. He really wasn't there. He's like, ah, crap. It's like, you better have a statement, buddy.
Good turnout, though.
Oh, yeah, it was packed. Yeah, we filled it up. When they get done with the renovations upstairs, because there should be a stage, and I think we're going to have much more room, and then we'll be able to migrate upstairs, just take over the entire upper level. Which it's getting cramped doing it.
Yeah.
You know, it's cramped for me. It's kind of cramped for them, you know? Yeah, so every time we do a Pass the Mic now, it's full. The only empty spots are like when somebody's there by themselves and other people don't know them, don't like want to sit with them because they don't know them. So you get like one empty spot here, one empty spot there, but everything else is full. We got 38 on YouTube right now as well. Sweet. Awesome. People are checking out the actual Twitch stream. I appreciate that.
I put the link in the YouTube chat. Someone was asking. I tried searching for it. I couldn't find it. Like, well, I'll just put the link in.
And I've got it on Facebook too. So if you're watching on YouTube, you want to try it on Twitch, I put the link to my Twitch channel on Facebook. So you can go to facebook.com/Casey the host and get it there. Of course, the Facebook people are going to be pissed that I'm not streaming on Facebook today, but Facebook's also throttling the snot out of my live streams. You know, I went from having like 20 to 30 of them, watching it during it, and then, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 by the end of the day, to like 3 to 6 watching it, and then 200 at the end of the day.
And this archives, you can archive this?
Yeah.
So they can view it later.
I'll archive it. We'll find spots that we can make clips. Put the clips on the profile page.
Monterey's new breakfast is something you need to experience. And the best part is you can dine in or order to go on your way to work, and they'll make
Yeah, that's the thing. Like a couple of times I've gone to stream Fallout, and when I hop onto the map, there's just like a bunch of players who are right around where I'm at, and I'm like, it's gonna be kind of weird for me to be like talking to people on the live stream, walking around with all these other people.
Who was it? One of the
Talks with you, not at you. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Casey Hendrickson.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595. 95.3, that is 2595-953. Happy Friday, everybody. Don't forget, the final hour free-for-all happens at 5 p.m., where we open up the phone lines. You can call about anything that you want starting at 5. So make sure you start writing down those ideas. A lot of really good questions at Pass the Mic today. Want to thank everybody for coming out. Also want to thank our sponsors, Second Amendment Arms and Range. Don't forget, if you mention me, you get half off your range time. You get 10% off your store, so you can accessorize any way that you want. You can also get listener-exclusive discounts on firearms. Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. We're not only live streaming on YouTube today at youtube.com/Casey the host, but we're attempting our very first live stream. So far, going pretty smooth on Twitch. So you go to twitch.tv/Casey the host. I also posted that link on my Facebook page if you want to be able to go ahead and get to it that way. All right, 574-2595, 95.3. We'll just take another call or two on the indictment of these Elkhart police officers today. John, welcome to the program.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well, man. What's up?
Hey, I was wanting to say that I think the policemen should get in trouble.
Okay.
I think that as a police officer, you're held to a higher standard.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you're supposed to be able to control your emotions. If the guy was giving them problems, and if I remember what I saw in the video, if the guy was giving them problems, they have a chair. I mean, he was in just a regular chair, it looked like, but they have a chair that they have in jail that restrains your body. And if he was giving them problems, there were steps that these officers could have took You know, I mean, all I remember seeing is the cops, you know, the guy spitting on them, and then the cops just beating the smack out of them.
Sure.
You know, I mean, as a police officer, aren't they held to a higher standard?
Yeah, that's where the audience is really split right now, because a lot of people believe exactly like what you're saying. And there's others who go, yeah, you know what? You spit on somebody, and that's like the ultimate insult. And so, but like I said, you know, every time I bring this up, and I wait till I read the text messages that I'm getting here, I run the gambit of opinions on this thing. And I think every caller has had a slightly different opinion than the other caller, even if they somewhat agreed with one another just today. So it really is interesting to see where people fall down on this, because people understand that the bad guy was being bad, but they also understand that you probably can't react that way if you're law enforcement. So,
right, you're held to a higher standard. I mean, it's just like, you know, like a doctor. There's supposed to be an oath, a Hippocratic oath or whatever that you take that you're supposed to help someone. I mean, isn't that what an officer is really there for? Is to help people?
Yeah, protect and serve. Yep, that's that's their whole spiel. What about the up to 10 years, $250,000 fine though? What do you think of that?
I think that's a little excessive, but I will say this: that if I go and I punch somebody out of the blue in the public, that it's going to be aggravated assault. I will do some jail time. We'll get probation, and after you get probation, you get these things called anger management classes.
Yeah,
where you have to take these classes and you have to pay this certain dollar amount. So, you know, but as a police officer, if you hit somebody, I don't think you should be allowed to go say to Michigan and be a police officer now. You know, if you get fired, you know, I mean, you can't do that, because all you're going to do is take the aggression that you got, and it's just going to travel with you.
Sure. All right, man. Hey, I appreciate the call. I know you waited through the break, so thank you very much.
Hey, I appreciate it.
All right.
Hey, have a good Friday.
You too. You too. All right, so let's go over some of the text messages that I have here. Casey, the cops acted perfectly. Any scumbag that spits on a cop got just what they deserved. Next one, Casey, I say give them the max. We give them authority over citizens' lives. We need to hold them to a higher standard than you and I something, and his comment disappeared in a contest from another radio station. So, sorry. Totally agree. The minute that somebody spits at me, you are getting a bleep whooping. Let's see. My opinion, if the cop spits on... In my opinion, if the cop gets spit on, I don't care if the prisoner is handcuffed or not. The cop should be able to punch him just once. Anything more, and it would be excessive. So you get one free shot if they spit at you. I bet there's a lot of cops who wouldn't mind that rule change. Just one, all I need is one shot. Now, the guy the police officer who knocked the other guy out, this is a totally different city. But that one went viral, I think, like a week or two ago. I think it might have been early last week. But a similar situation is this. Guy's handcuffed to a chair, spits on the officer, but the officer's body cam captured it. So it was right up and up close. We're not talking about the security cameras. We're talking about the body camera. Cop nailed him one time. Dude was out cold. That cop's in big trouble. Big trouble. So he didn't get his free shot. So what do we have here? Spitting is, got hepatitis C, saw it with bodily fluid. My husband is a police officer, and trust me, getting spit on is not an insult to him. It is a very real concern that he is going to bring hepatitis into our family and our two young children. I was waiting for the wives to hop in on this, because the wives get really emotional about this stuff, as they should, by the way. Would everybody feel differently if instead of spitting on him, the guy somehow had a knife and was trying to stab them? Because that's an assault or battery of a police officer too. And then another guy, guy got exactly what he had coming to him. Dropped the charges. Let him go. So like I said, you can see, runs the gambit of opinions on this particular story. All right. Once again, they're innocent until proven guilty. This is just the indictment phase. We're not saying that they're going to get 10 years in prison, $250,000 fines. That's the maximum that they are facing. I don't think that that's going to happen. There will likely be a plea since we're dealing with video evidence here, but we'll continue to cover the case as it progresses. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Casey Hendrickson.
All righty. What's happening with my house?
served up at a Prime Table restaurant in Niles. Does your family or group meet regularly for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve
they're
tables
not
for your
going to
next
sink
gathering.
if you're running multiple.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists, 5-day forecast.
Nothing but
I usually don't play the videos.
for majority of
I
today.
usually just
Temperatures warming up near 40 degrees. Freezing conditions
switch
though are going to
playing
make you
just
feel even a little bit chillier at times, and that's the case for tonight. An overnight low of 22
Christ.
degrees. For Saturday, though, we do make it to 46 degrees.
Oh, the
Plenty
14
of
degree right
sunshine.
now.
A gorgeous day to get outside, and even a little bit
39
warmer
on
for Sunday
YouTube.
as we top out at 53 degrees. You'll notice clouds are starting to increase mainly for the afternoon. The chance for a rain shower too as we get closer to the late evening. And rain showers last
What's that?
Sunday
You
night
can't
into
like
Monday. So soft to start with.
Yeah, you just kind of follow, right?
Follow, which you them notify if you're going live.
Right.
And then you can
Views are more important than your.
but you can't subscribe to someone unless you're
Right. You want to subscribe? That's dollars.
right, but you also have to be a partner.
Issuing document requests to over
Yeah.
60 different people
You are
and
not.
individuals.
I am not a partner.
Or whatever it is. It's something.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Hi, I'm Dwayne Miller with
The old emotional argument, which is supposed to make me think that punching a guy in handcuffs surrounded by officers is justifiable.
Call me at 574-621-3277.
Let's see.
I can pay
Comet brings up the needle treatment after exposure to hepatitis. That's brutal. Freak Fighter is talking about purchasing awesome stuff.
I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month. I want to buy more.
Yeah, the affiliate, not the partner, the affiliate status. That's what we're working at.
Yeah, partner's
the affiliate.
bigger deal.
Yeah.
I inherit houses, divorce houses, behind them payment houses. I even buy, my tenant will pay me their rent houses.
Yeah, so affiliate is like average 3 is what he was talking about earlier. So you have to stream like a regular basis, which if we do once a week, that's a regular basis.
Abandoned houses,
And then it's an average 3 viewers, which I think we could do rather easily.
Well, I'm not opposed to dropping the Facebook stream if Twitch ends up working out better. I'm not opposed to that. You know, Facebook is where the preponderance of my audience is, but if they're not going to show my live stream, you know, it is what it is.
For 16 years. Greg and I have been working together a long time, and every year there's a lot of excitement at tax time.
Yeah, that's right. We have so many vehicles, we are running out of places to park.
We have a tremendous offering of new Jeep, Ram, Chrysler, Dodge, Buick, and GMC models. And most desirable
Let me see.
brands.
We have all
Yeah, I've heard rumors, Comet. I have heard rumors.
Every budget. There are a lot of options for what you can do with your tax return. Buying into a pre-owned vehicle from Lock Mini Motors is the best way to make that dollar go further. You get more for your money.
using that money.
Well, I appreciate everybody checking out Twitch. I mean, that's pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it. Yeah, but you know, it's been there's more on Twitch than there has been on Facebook lately because I'm telling you, man, they're deboosting it. The difference with what Facebook used to get versus now is astronomical. The page continues to grow. My engagement on the page continues to grow. In fact, I just had a local business comment yesterday asking me to do an event. They're like, "We love what you're doing on Facebook. Your engagement is insane." You know, most of my posts have like 100 reactions or more. So, but then 6 people watch the live stream.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Certified financial planner and president of Howard Bailey Financial. You may have seen or heard my
50 follow, 8 hours streaming. Yeah, I mean, we'll get to the hours streaming in a week. Less than a week. You know, that'll be easy because we do 3 a day. 3 viewer average, which I'll definitely have.
7 different days.
7 different. Okay, so technically we'll have to go into week 2. Plus my streaming that I've already done on there, which isn't much, but
3 viewer average, but all within the 30-day period.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll have to go into week 2, but easy peasy, man. Easy peasy.
Progress
Legends of Motown, the Mighty Temptations.
Thank you.
Well, I will just go look at my account achievements, wherever the hell that is. Is that my dashboard? Twitch isn't exactly the most navigable website.
No.
I will give them that. They have too much going on. They need to streamline it. Achievements, there you go.
aside from Elkhart Bedding and a national brand? 2 things.
Oh, path to affiliate. I have 1 out of 4 check marks. I have 28 out of 50 followers. I need to work on my 30-day performance. Streaming for 8 hours is 0.38. Stream on 7 different days. This is technically 1 because it's all within that 30-day period. I've got an average of 4.04 viewers versus the 3 needed, so I'm doing okay. Not too shabby considering I am 53 minutes into this.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. Once again, I want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. So we are live streaming on youtube.com/Casey the host. And today we're not doing Facebook. I know it's kind of weird because we started live streaming the radio show a couple of years ago on Friday Facebook Live. And now we're not doing Facebook on Friday. But that's because I think Facebook is deboosting it. We were actually talking about during the live stream, we're talking about the number differences of what it used to be versus now, in spite of the fact that the page continues to grow and engagement continues to grow on the page, but less people are watching the video. I don't know. Maybe more people are just gravitating towards YouTube. I'm not really sure. YouTube is where most of the interactivity happens, but we're also on Twitch today. So you go to twitch.tv/Casey the host or on Twitch @Casey the host, depending on how privy you are to the service. You know, make sure you follow. If you got a Twitch account, hit that follow button. We really appreciate it, and continue to grow my account over there. Which I love Twitch anyway. Twitch is fantastic. I'm on Twitch regularly. All right, this is in the UK Sun. Have you ever been talking about a pair of trainers or holiday destination, and then suddenly seen an advert for that precise thing pop up on social media? Of course, we have talked about this. How many times have we talked about this?
Well, we were. Oh, I think we were.
You were just. Yeah, you were.
We were talking about stuff on the off the live stream.
Yeah,
and we were talking about Ben's Pretzels, I think. And literally that night when I got home, I was going through Instagram and an ad for Ben's Pretzels. I had not seen a Ben's Pretzel ad the entire time.
God bless Ben's Pretzels, though.
Honestly.
My family went to the mall last weekend, and I gave my 6-year-old a mission to bring me back some pretzel bites. And she did it. She actually did it.
Nice.
She's thinking of Dad. So I thought I was paranoid, but now I'm 100% sure that our phones are listening to us, and I've got proof. This is Miranda Knox with the UK Sun talking about all of this. It's funny. I just had the Facebook anniversary post you did like a year ago. I just had that whole meme from Michelle on Full House where she's got the 2 guns out and she's like, when you're talking about something to a friend and then all of a sudden the ad pops up, you're like, whoa, you got the guns out. So I just had that anniversary happen. Well, she's talking, have you ever been talking about something and all of a sudden an ad pops up for it on social media? Well, us too. And as incredible as it sounds, it might be because our phones are secretly spying on us. No kidding. Wow. She's had an epiphany, Joe. I mean, really, an epiphany. It's a question that I've been asking for a while after seeing adverts for things that I've been talking about, but not searching, popping up on my phone. While we are all used to targeted ads, seeing pictures of things that we've just searched or appearing in ad spaces on the websites that we visit after many people think advertisers and phone companies are taking this one step further. Now, we actually do this type of advertising here at Federated Media. So we do targeted ads. So if you're walking by someplace and we happen to know that you're interested in guns and you happen to be next to, Second Amendment arms or whatever, you'll get an ad for Second Amendment arms if they pay us to do that. But the other thing is the active or the passive listening of your device. Alexa does this, Google Home does this, and we start to see that happen with your phone and everything else. So when you start talking about stuff, that little phone, whatever those apps are, they're listening to you. And then those ads start popping up. So this journalist in the UK finally discovered that this is a real thing. Let's see. In voice recognition apps like Siri and Bixby, that must be a British thing. I don't know. are always listening for commands. Is it really beyond the realm of possibility that they are also sending ads our way based on what we're talking about? Of course not. Now, if you ask Alexa if she's doing that, Alexa will straight up lie to your face and tell you that she's not. But she is. We know that because we've actually caught her and there's been legal cases over it. While tech giants, including Facebook and Apple, vehemently deny that they are using phones to listen into customers' conversations, then sell data to advertisers, I wasn't so sure I believed them, she says. So I decided to investigate and run a scientific experiment to find out why I was getting these ads and prove my theory one way or another. I pulled together a list of topics, business cards, spandex, vegan food, gross, and stuff that I had never Googled before and began talking about them in earshot of my phone. I made sure that my phone's microphone was turned on in my apps and kept using social media like Facebook and Instagram in exactly the same way. Within days, I was inundated with ads related to these keywords. Firstly, I got an advert offering 50% off my first purchase of business cards. Not a bad deal. Something I'd never thought about or searched for before, but I talked about with a friend with my phone on the coffee table next to us. While I happily eat meat, oh, she's not crazy. That's cool. I also told my friend I had plans to cook up some healthy vegan dishes using a new cookbook. Instead, sure enough, I was subjected to an advert for healthy vegan meal plans later that day. Now, the problem with the vegan thing, and I realize that she didn't understand this, is that now she's in the cult of vegan. They're like the Mormons. They'll be knocking at her door for the rest of her life. She's not going to be able to escape them. She'll move. They will tell everybody at the cult of vegan headquarters where she lives. They will show up in groups and say, hey, can we talk to Miranda? Have you been eating meat lately? We can smell it on you. So she can't escape it. So good to know that a journalist in the UK finally figured out that her phone is in fact listening to her. But all of those tech companies, Super Pinky swear, promise that they aren't. Got more coming up. 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM and HD1.
What you want, homie? Oh, you want the card. All right.
I rolled up here on things.
Oh. There you go. Yeah, they can't find the transaction for the earnest money check. So I've got to go through the bank and make sure. They're like, did you give her that the statement with that transaction? I'm like, I don't know, man. You told me to give him a statement for the last 30 days. So I've got to find that because I guess the lender is pushing for April 1st closing now. And so Shauna and Callie are working really hard to not make that happen. So I told Shauna that I would look today as soon as I got done with work, but obviously I can't do it now. So I know it's just. Every time I do what they ask me to do, it causes a damn delay every single time. And I know that they're not trying to be that way, but that's just what keeps happening. So,
according to my follow channel sidebar, 17 viewers.
Sweet. Thank you, Twitch people. Do Twitch people have a name? Like, do we call them like
you actually
Twitchies, Twitchers?
On what, like each streamer has a different.
So I can just call them the Horde?
You could.
Okay, so thank you, Horde.
Usually they do it for their subscribers. Their subscribers are what they call them. Like, for example.
Well, I call mine the Horde, which works really well with Discord. Join the Horde on Discord. Don't be a whore. Join the Horde on Discord.
Streamer that I subscribe to, he calls his streamers the Skeleton Crew.
The Skeleton Crew.
Because his son has a bone disease. And he uses Twitch to raise money for his son.
Yeah. So here's what I'm going to test now. I'm going to re-up my YouTube because I have to reauthorize YouTube every hour. I'm not going to do Twitch. I'm going to see if Twitch still functions without having to re-up it every hour.
No, freak. That's naughty.
I knew somebody was going to do it. Somebody had to.
H-O-R-D.
Yeah, I know. Somebody had to.
H-O-R-D.
It was a foregone conclusion that somebody was going to have the W. All right. Sorry, my throat is just jacked. I'm going to have to go get some water here in a second.
Oh, I was about to get up and do it. Do you want me to just get some? Do you have a cup?
No, I was just going to snag one of the coffee cups over there, but I fill it up like 3/4 of the way with hot water, and then just adds a little cold water on top, just kind of take the edge off. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. The realtor
offered. This is HR approved for the record.
That is true. That is true. Kathy, I use Callie Hochler, and she works on the Michigan side, and she's awesome. She's with Coldwell. She's also a P1 and a listener. Sometimes she's in the stream too, by the way, and she will hop on. I don't know if she is today. She's been absolutely fantastic.
That change allowed residents to choose the third option X instead of the traditional options of M or F.
The funny thing is that so like she's on my Snapchat, so she'll like, you know, snap me and stuff. But I was at the dollar store one day, and a lady in front of me turned around and was like, "I'm sorry, but are you Casey Hendrickson?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me," and that was her. And I just happened to need the services of a realtor at that time, and so she became my agent.
Cases and plastic bags of frozen buffalo style and chicken breast strips.
Callie Hochler.
Dates of November 30th, 2019 are affected. The problem was discovered when the USDA received 2 reports of metal in the products. So far, no injuries have been reported. If you have any of the affected products in your freezer, either throw them away or return them to where you bought them.
95.3 MNC's Darren Wright report.
No, the realtor's not the problem. This is all on the underwriting side of things. We just and they're very nice. They're very good. It's just, and part of the problem is that this all happens so suddenly and so quickly that everything's not set up and lined up the way that it usually is. So that's part of the issue. I'm just talking about my house. And so little things keep coming up. So every time they ask me to do something, I just kind of do it. And then they're like, "No, we didn't want you to do it right away." And it's like, yeah, it's just one of those things. Right now, the earnest money deposit, they apparently the statement that I gave them, my 30-day statement that they needed.
Powered by Polymax of Full Lakes, now offering flavored ultra salt full spectrum CBD oil. Ask about it today and come taste what it means to make American food great again.
Polymax and Full Lakes, locally raised meats made to order American classics like walleye, bluegill, haddock, hand-cut cherries, reserve.
There's an NPC emoji on the Android keyboard. That's hysterical.
Just a short drive from anywhere in Mishawaka.
All right, what do we got?
Oh, I could use I can put a Pikachu emote on your stream, Casey.
You can? There's a Pikachu emote?
There's a bunch of Pokemon. There's Blaziken, Charizard. It's a bunch of starters, Starter Fun Evolution, and a couple of popular ones.
Did you know that's
like,
also your number for expert plumbing service?
Oh, it's all the Pokemon from the fighting game that they have.
Oh, really?
From that 3D fighter.
Interesting.
Plus a couple extras.
Who the hell are these people that are real people that apparently are commonly used? Oh, yeah, there's a couple Pikachus, damn.
Yep. And there's all like the popular Twitch streamer remote.
Oh, yeah, sure enough. Yeah, I got a good little NPC on there.
Don't despair because Martha Stewart is doing a free.
Ooh, I like the salt one.
Giving away
Oh, yeah, that's a common
full-size meals.
I think that's what a lot of people use for their
Yeah, put some salt in that wound, foe.
You're eating in just 30 minutes. To be part of Martha's
Nice.
at-home taste test and get 3 free meals, be one of the first 100 people to text the word food to 246-810.
Got some StarCraft Prime loot.
Martha and Marley's spoon meals are easy, simple, and delicious.
Apex Legend. Ooh, Omega Point Pathfinder for Apex Legends.
Oh boy.
I don't know what that means, but it looks cool.
Part of Martha's at-home taste test and get your 3 free meals. Be one of
Get
the
League of
first
Legends
100
stuff.
people to text food
Oh, it looks like a skin.
Yeah, it looks like it's looks like a pretty cool skin though. Although I don't play Apex yet.
2K19 stuff, Warframe, a bunch of stuff that I don't play.
95.3 Michiana's news channel.
All right, here we go. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595953. And live stream is booming today. It's a good Friday. Awesome. Hopefully we get lots of calls and open lines. It'll come up in 1 hour from now. Again, the 5 o'clock free-for-all. We open up the phone lines for you to call about anything that you want. A lot of people take that opportunity to ask me about something that I said during the week, or to talk about a subject that maybe I didn't get to, or they didn't hear me get to. And we have that opportunity for all of you. So basically, all of the people who write me during the week and can get to the real news, Friday's for you. Like, that's the whole point of having the 5 o'clock free-for-all, is for you to call and go, well, since you didn't talk about this, you professional with the highest ratings ever of anybody ever, how dare you not talk about this issue that I, an untrained radio professional, as Rush Limbaugh would say, wanted you to discuss. And that's where we give you the opportunity to do that. I want to thank our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. Again, they're indoors, 10 lanes, rifle and pistol, so you can shoot both. They do have rentals. If you want to shoot a big bad AR-15 because you heard bad things about it on the news, you can do that over there. So you can learn that it's actually a very easy to control weapon. That's the whole point of it. Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. You mentioned me, get 50% off your range time. How awesome is that? You're welcome, America. All right, we are live streaming on Twitch at twitch.tv/Casey the host, youtube.com/Casey the host. All right, what else do we have here? Quick little mention. So a lot of you got really mad at me yesterday because I hadn't posted my tweets to Senator Bob Menendez. They were really angry at me, Joe. Very, very angry at me. God forbid yours truly should have a life and go home and get caught up doing other things. It's not like I run a company also. So I got home, wasn't able to do it. People were asking me about it that night, and I was just too exhausted. And then they were asking me about it all day yesterday, and I was like, fine. I dealt with 2 broken down cars yesterday in my entire work schedule, but I will make sure that I do it. So I went ahead and I tweeted several times to Senator Bob Menendez and Jack on Twitter, which included links to download 3D printed gun files, just so we got the message across crystal clear that the First Amendment in particular will not be silenced by some stupid senator from New Jersey. So far, I have not been banned, but we will see. Maybe shadow banned, I don't know. It's happened before. You never know. I didn't look at my follower numbers, though. The last time I did something controversial, they took 7,000 of them away from me. I've never recovered. So, what's that? 1,000. Wait, for what? Wait, no. 2,713. 2,713 on Twitter? 2,713. I had a nice little surge last night. Cool. Guess my message got read loud and clear. So a youth hockey player, by the way, I love hockey. And I'm going to, kudos to Notre Dame with the tournament and everything. So finally got to go to a tournament game this year. Watched them shut out Michigan State this year. Finally, usually I get to go through a meaningless game at the beginning of the year. I don't get to go to an actual meaningful game, and I got to go to a meaningful game, and they played great. It was awesome. There was a fight and everything, which isn't supposed to happen in collegiate hockey, but it does. Fighting bad. A Pennsylvania youth hockey player and an artist were reportedly slammed on social media. I like how this reportedly slammed on social media. Can you go to the social media websites and see if they've been slammed or not? Like, even if one person slams them, they're still slammed, right? You're technically not lying. So reportedly were slammed on social media after the goalie wore a mask. Now, for those of you who do not know, in hockey culture, it is common for the goalie to have a custom mask, right? They do the artwork the way that they like. It's their way to customize their mask, and just some really cool ones show up, especially in the Olympics. Oh man, hockey masks in Olympics are fantastic. So youth goalie went ahead, had a mask which featured, are you ready for this? He did get slammed on the internet. President Donald Trump holding a trowel and brick in a nod to Trump's campaign promise to build a wall between the United States and Mexico. God forbid this. God forbid. I'm looking at it. It's actually pretty good art. So Doug Wager, an artist who had been working with goalie masks for more than 2 decades, told USA Today on Wednesday that he didn't have a problem with painting the mask for a 14-year-old. They asked if I wanted to paint it, and I said, sure, why not? That's what he told the newspaper. See, good artists will take the commission work regardless, right? Personally, I would have picked something different. It's a hot topic. It'd be a bit too far for me if it was my mask, he said. Trump is featured on the front of the mask with a trowel in his right hand and a brick in the other. The mask was given to the teen who plays for the Palmyra Black Knights. That's what he told USA Today, that the parents who asked for the mask were Trump supporters who own a business in the state. So naturally, this ends up on social media and everybody is collectively losing their minds that a 14-year-old would dare support the president. It's freedom of expression, Wager told USA Today. It's not like they wanted a Mexican flag with a slash through it or anything like that. I think they wanted to be funny. Normally, there's no reason why anyone would be upset over having the president of the United States on a mask. Unfortunately, this is the kind of thing that people take offense to. And in my opinion, it's a willful act to be outraged. The last time I remember there being a hockey mask controversy was our goalie in the Olympics. And the Olympics didn't like our goalie having the patriotic theme on his mask or something like that. I have to go back and dig it up. It was during that amazing series with U.S. and Canada, and it was honestly the best hockey I'd ever seen. But that's the last time I remember there being a hockey mask controversy in the country. However, not everybody thought the mask was okay. College hockey writer. Oh, it's a writer. Here we go. The writers are at it again. Joshvina Shah. Okay. Wrote on Twitter Monday, to be quite honest, I don't think a picture of a man who has admitted to sexually assaulting women, no, he didn't, you idiot, should be on a goaltender's mask. Wow. She later added the kid who has Trump on his mask is 14 years old. He needs someone in that organization to explain to him why it's not okay. Yeah, somebody like you, right? All right. I know you're not in the organization, but still, that's what you're attempting to do here. The 14-year-old's not allowed to have his own opinion about something and why it represents racism and other forms of bigotry. Why? Okay. Ms. Shaw, why does it represent racism? Somebody's got to ask you. Why does a picture of the president of the United States represent racism? Come on. Now, she doesn't have an answer for that. Her response is going to be, well, all the things that he's done that's racist. Like what? Name one. Oh, like Charlottesville. Oh, you mean where he directly quoted the police department? Well, building the wall is racist. No, it's not. Not at all. In fact, you'd have to be kind of insane to assume that. So how exactly does this represent racism and other forms of bigotry? Keep in mind, this president of the United States won civil rights awards. Okay. But obviously people are not very happy. But by the way, this Wager guy, he paints the Toronto Maple Leafs goalie Garrett Sparks. He paints his helmets and some other helmets too. This dude's been doing it for a long time. So he just painted the helmet. Everybody's going after this 14-year-old. Somebody needs to teach this 14-year-old has a different opinion than me why he's wrong. Yeah, okay. You go ahead, sniff your own farts, you smug little twit. We got more coming up. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Wondering about the weekend? It's always
the network manager at Bago Community Schools just called asking for advice on how to start broadcast. Like he's doing a thing. I didn't ask for too many details. Like, I'm not the person who asked. So I got his information. And he wants to start broadcasting like school stuff, I think, or something.
Okay.
And so I was like, I'll get the. He's like, I want to talk to you and I want to talk to Casey,
sure,
but like off-air advice stuff.
Okay.
So like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, man, I can do that.
Bring it up to John after the show. Like, hey, this dude wants advice because I don't know really anything about this.
He's just trying to like live stream like I
don't
do.
know what he's doing.
Okay.
He said like specifically broadcasting stuff, like radio.
Okay.
Like the best way to go about that.
Okay, so maybe it's not the live stream. Maybe it's like radio broadcast.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I gotcha.
So I didn't know if you. I got his number and everything. I was going to take it up to John later.
Okay.
I didn't know if you'd be.
Yeah, I don't know if he's looking at using like paid time or what.
Faster than ever. To stay connected, text weather to 45364. Do it right now. Pick the counties you care about and get word of severe weather the very moment the alert is issued. Minutes matter. And that's why we've made our weather text alert service better than ever. Again,
Still waiting to have the meeting with my own company that's been delayed for months and months and months on how to teach everybody in this building to live stream.
Oh, yes.
Would have been even more funny if you painted a Confederate flag on it.
Many of you have been having trouble with your teeth for years. You've been wanting to do something about it, but you have lots of questions and no dental insurance. At Aptent, we're here to listen and provide the right dental solution to meet your needs. Whether that's getting you out of pain, improving your appearance, or improving...
There's another kid that's in trouble. We're going to talk about that next. Because, of course...
We have easy payment plans to fit almost any budget, including 0% APR for those who qualify, in-house financing for those with less than perfect credit. Call today.
Sorry, folks. I've had a long day. Fridays are my long days, so there's going to be some yawning. YouTube is like on fire right now.
I'm Les Anderson, owner of Signs of the Times. We're a full-service sign company. We've been in business now going on 14 years.
One thing that I also don't like about Twitch is you basically have one upload. And it's the same title, the same metadata, everything, unless you go in and change it before you start streaming again. Whereas everywhere else, it's a separate thing. You have to title it. You have to put in your metadata. But on Twitch, it's just the same.
There's a lot of people do the same thing.
Yeah, and I get that, but I think an option to have like a drop down of recent titles would be more beneficial. Because like I always forget that. Like I'll stream my golf or something, and I'm like, oh hey, I'm not playing Call of Duty. Oops.
That happens a lot with other streamers who are smaller. Who are like,
Which
you're not playing Minecraft today.
Which seems like it's not just a Casey problem. Well, you know my skull and crossbones, man. I love those. You know that.
In any condition, any price range, and in any location. I am not a realtor or associated with any.
Do Impress coming into this break.
Impress. Impress Jewelry. That was a compliment. Thank you. I need some cheese poofs and some beefcake.
You ever play Stick of Truth?
I did not play it. I'm not a big fan of those types of games, but I almost did it just for the hell of it. But then I'm like, you know what? It's gonna ruin it because like the Simpsons games suck balls.
Stick of Truth is actually good.
I heard it was really good. I really did. People really enjoyed it. When I was younger, man, Battletoads and those side scrollers, Contra and stuff like that, I love those games. So there was a part of me that wanted to just for nostalgia's sake, but I never really got around to it. I'll see it for sale for $5 one day and I'll get it. This is what'll happen.
And then the sequel is actually pretty decent too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know they had a part 2.
The fractured butthole.
The fractured butthole. Nice.
Really good. And it's just like it's a turn-based RPG.
Really?
Yeah.
Turn-based?
Turn-based.
I like me some turn-based.
Very, and it's got its own little mechanic elements.
Yup, that's neat.
It's funny.
I really do want to download this Pod Racer remake. I want to play that game on Unreal because that game, first of all, that game looked better than every other game that was out when it came out, and it was fun as hell. For it to get the Unreal treatment, I've been calling for Fallout to go to the Unreal Engine for many years now.
Fallout's not running on Unreal?
No.
What's it running on?
Its own thing. And you can tell it does some things very well, but it's like you already have like the best engine. Just use it, you know? So I don't make the game, but for me, I would have enjoyed Fallout 4 should have been on Unreal.
Why would a major company not be using the Unreal Engine?
I don't know.
Come on, Bethesda.
And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. So here's the deal. I want to tell you about Impress Jewelry Creations. All right. The William Henry collection over at Impress. These are great gifts and great accessories for the gentleman, okay? High-end gifts and accessories, including knives. Now, you all know that I make knives, but these knives are amazing, okay? I make working knives. These are gentlemen's knives. Damascus with amazing patterns. You've also got, woolly mammoth artifacts that are used in these things. Sometimes you have meteorite. You've got gemstones and just the highest grade material that you can get, some of the most rare materials that you can get, and just absolutely finely crafted. Just amazing stuff. And you got these knives, and you also have money clips, and you have pens that are custom pens. But here's the thing, like Joe, what do you think about when a guy needs like a high-end gift? Like an accessory. What's the one thing that typically pops into men's idea if they really want something, but they probably won't buy it for themselves unless they're wealthy?
A really nice watch.
Really nice watch, right? And if you go to Impress Jewelry Creations, they have got a watch selection for men and women that is just going to blow your mind. I actually posted pictures of this a couple of weeks ago. It's just stunning, okay? So ladies who wear watches, I mean, it's perfect for them. But guys, if you're looking for that statement watch piece to put around your wrist, Impress Jewelry Creations is the best place in town to go, bar none. You can find out some of their stuff, most of their stuff, online, impressjewelers.com. But if you go into Impress Jewelry Creations, once again, they're located on University, right next to Temper Grill. But if you go there, you have the whole custom collection that they make themselves. And these are one-off pieces, okay? You can't get them in any other chain store. They're only available at Impress because they made it themselves. They didn't outsource it. The team is in the back of that store. They've worked together for decades. Really talented, really amazing folks. The customer service is absolutely stellar. Go to Impress Jewelry Creations. Again, the website is impressjewelers.com. You can see some of the stuff that they have. You can also visit them in person at 1233 University Drive in City Plaza. And that is in Granger. Of course, let them know that I sent you, please. All right, 574-25-95-95.3. That is 2595-953. So we just talked about a 14-year-old who's getting ripped because he's got a Trump goalie mask in his youth hockey league. Well, now there's a middle school student who has been punished for recreating the battlefield cross for a school assignment. Do you know what a battlefield cross is? You're looking at me confused. The battlefield cross is...
The Confederate flag?
No.
What is the battlefield
So the battlefield cross is when you have a member of the military die. So you have the boots, you have the rifle, and then you have the helmet on top, okay? So this is honoring a fallen soldier. Okay. So this kid redid one of these. He made like a replica of one for a school project, and he got busted for it. Because, again, we are talking about 2019. My favorite writer, Ash Show, who's also a gamer on Twitch. You can follow her on Twitch, by the way. 8th grader Tyler Carlin needed an idea for a history project, so he chose to create a replica of the battlefield cross, which is used on the battlefield or at camp to mark the death of a fallen soldier. Carlin told Fox News that his teacher knew that he would be making the replica, but said that it would be all right. But when Carlin showed up to his Ohio school with the project made from a helmet, boots, and a Nerf dart gun, It was promptly taken away. He also said that he was given a 3-day in-school suspension. They didn't even give him the much coveted out-of-school suspension where he didn't have to be there. I just sat in a room all day. Have you ever had in-school suspension, or are you a little goody two-shoes?
I never did. No.
Dude, it is the most boring garbage in the world.
You can imagine.
So every time I had it, every time I had it, you're literally in a closet. They stick you in a closet. At least they did at my school. They stick you in a closet which has enough room for one of those stupid, uncomfortable desks with the attached chair and to get out and suck in your gut and slide out. That's what it is. And you're just sitting the entire day. Boring. An administrator thought that it was stupid that I got this, so she brought me a donut and played cards with me. Yeah, that's the type of person you want teaching your kids, right? His attorney, Travis Faber, yep, this kid's lawyered up, is demanding that the school expunge the ridiculous suspension from the middle school student's record and had asked the school to delay Carlin's suspension to no avail. We are greatly concerned about the message that the actions of Salina School District will send to our community's youth. That's what he told local news outfit WTOL. What? He, Tyler, should be thanked for his hard work and dedication to our veterans and to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice for our country. Further, Faber also told the media outlet that an Army staff sergeant was barred from speaking on Carlin's behalf during the school board meeting. The veteran, Janice Holdheide, attended Salina, I think it's Salina, City School Board of Education meeting on Monday night, but was prevented from speaking up for the 13-year-old, according to local news. Holdheide had heard about Carlin's situation and wanted to stand up for the student who attempted to honor fallen soldiers. But when she started to speak, the board interrupted her and said that they would not hear what she had to say. Yeah, I stand wholeheartedly by it's not a theory, it's a premise that school boards just suck in general. They're not good. Lowest quality people on school boards for the most part. Not saying some of you aren't good at what you do. Holdheide then took to Facebook to publish her prepared remarks. I fought for this great country and I fought for this young man to exercise his First Amendment right. I have buried friends and comrades and survived the horrors of war only to come home and find such disrespectful action taken by this school system in my hometown, she wrote. School board president Carl Huber told WTOL that he could not discuss student disciplinary actions because he's a coward and he's hiding behind that old trope. Huber also told the outlet that he had asked Carlin's family to authorize him to make a truthful and accurate statement about the situation. On Wednesday, the leader of Veterans Forever, Inc. announced that the group had created shirts to support Carlin, and they are going to bat for him. So good for them. All he did was do the battlefield cross, told his teacher knew about it, and I'm sure that this is about the zero tolerance Nerf gun bit. And they're probably saying that it's still a firearm. You can't have a Nerf gun. Go figure. You know, it's weird. My 6-year-old bought a Nerf gun. What? Yeah, a firearm. My 6-year-old bought one of those Nerf gun sniper rifle things when we went to that gun show. Yeah, she got it. She saw it all the way across the room, dude. I thought she was talking about the LED lit up Trump rifle because she's like, oh, I want that bright gun over there. I'm like, okay, we'll go look at it. And no, she saw the Nerf gun 1,000 yards away hanging up on the roof. So we went and we bought the Nerf gun. And wouldn't you know it, they didn't run a background check. Gun show loophole, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't run a background check on a 6-year-old girl buying a Nerf sniper rifle. It's obviously a dangerous weapon because they got this kid in trouble with the zero tolerance gun policy.
And the teacher's story yesterday, they got shot with a Nerf gun.
Oh, well, it's an airsoft, but you know.
No, they had a Nerf gun one story too.
Oh, did they? That's right. Yes. They did have the Nerf gun. I forgot about that. Oh, man. What a difference 24 hours makes. Yeah. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Told everybody who's going to make it. All right, cool. No problem. Shows up. Probably didn't know what a battlefield cross was. And sure enough, he shows up with a replica of it with a Nerf. God forbid. All right, folks, we're live streaming on YouTube and on Twitch at Casey the Host today. Please like, subscribe, follow, depending on which platform you're watching on. MNC News Time is 4:32. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michigan.
The Nerf gun that got shot with, though, was one of them. It's a really nice Nerf rifle, automatic battery powered.
Oh, yeah.
Those things,
it probably has the balls.
Yeah, those things fun. But they're like foam. They're just like the same material.
Yeah, they're just, but they're not the darts. Yeah. Freak Fighter says change the spring. Oh, trust me, I have plans. I've got all the 3D printed accessories ready to go.
I've seen people take them and cut out all the good stuff and just replace it with a CO2 cartridge, so it just looks like a Nerf gun, and then they buy it.
Casey, you need to have her buy your guns for you. No kidding. She doesn't have to deal with all the paperwork. Yeah, it didn't come with a tripod either. It was used. You know, they had a used Nerf setup over there. So it didn't come with a tripod, so I've got to 3D print the tripod, or I can buy a tripod for $10. You know, either way. She needs the tripod. It's way too heavy for her to hold normal. She tried, though. So I showed her how to use her bag as a stabilizer. But yeah, pretty interesting. All right, here we go. 45 communist goals, ladies and gentlemen. You have been asking for this.
Here we go.
You have been asking and begging, and it came up again today at Pass the Mic, so we're going to do it. Begging, 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 begging. Ooh, that sounded like bacon. I'm hungry. I want bacon.
Is it like one of the bold action type ones where you have to pull back the slide and then bring it forward?
Yep.
Oh, those ones are fun.
It has the mega darts. And the mega darts, you can put the regular darts inside of the mega darts and make it fly farther. Yeah. I'm all about that. Yes, the piston is still spring driven. And no, I agree with you. That is going to be replaced. So don't you worry your pretty little head about it. We got it.
Weather served up by the Prime Table. Start your morning routine with the Prime Table in Nile. This week's breakfast special, all pancakes and pancakes.
What is a serve for me is always see less thumbs up than others see. It's a weird, mad YouTube world.
Plenty of sunshine for the rest of the day with temperatures warm.
Oh, yeah. You know, I should buy a butt ton of copies of The Naked Communist, and I should give those away to listeners. That's what I should do. Joe thinks it's an actual picture, not a book.
No, I just laughed.
Why not? It was written in the 50s, entered in the congressional record in the 60s, and he was right. Yo, diggity.
Casey wants, Kathy wants to know what real estate is.
Again?
Oh no, it's just catching up. Excuse me.
Oh, I was like, that was like an hour ago, dude.
Oh my god, I keep getting calls.
Online content is unrated. It is not regulated by the FCC.
Oh.
Joe.
That's why I was like, why is it spamming so much? Yeah, it's just because I haven't been on it.
Yeah, so it's all reloading. Yeah. Yeah, their comment system is a little nutso. That's cool though, man. It's been a relatively steady day on Twitch though. I'm very happy with what y'all have done on that. Everyday progressive show. This dude doesn't interact with chat much, eh? Well, this is what happens when you have a radio show versus a podcast. You got multiple screens you got to pay attention to and deal with texting. You've got to deal with the YouTube people.
Where'd you see that?
Got to deal with this. It's on Twitch. An appropriate icon of a snowflake in front of their name.
Basketball Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal will become an ambassador for the brand and advertisement.
Yeah, just go up on Twitch chat. It's
O'Neal will receive
right above the two tornadoes.
Oh.
endorsement deal. He has experience in the restaurant business.
He's just trolling.
With the Fox Business Report on
Oh, it's for charity though. Direct Relief Charity 2018. He got snowflake for that.
Oh, you got a snowflake for that. Yeah, it's still apt.
Progressive, of course.
Buy too many. Wouldn't that be funny if you ended up on the watch list for buying too many copies of The Naked Communist because it was written by a guy who used to work for the FBI? Wouldn't that be something? That would be interesting.
Call from myself.
Why are you butt dialing yourself?
Right here in front of me. You can't butt dial.
I don't know. I wasn't watching you.
Hello, I'm Les Anderson, owner of Signs of the Times. We're a full-service sign company. We've been in business now going on 14 years. We have 2 stores located in Elkhart. A lot of the services we offer, the vehicle wraps have just taken off.
So, Mike, that episode of South Park is called Smug Alert, and it is one of the greatest episodes of South Park ever.
It stands out. It's not just hearsay.
In fact, I used to play the Hybrid song regularly on the show. Regularly. Huh?
Until...
It's been years, you know. Just haven't done it in a while. I've thought about bringing it back, though. When I used to do my regular homeless updates in Las Vegas, I would play the homeless song. Because they had a whole homeless song. Dean has not seen what? South Park? Dean, we can't be friends no more, man. What's wrong with you?
Their job, no matter how big or small, is important to us.
From wraps to signs, apparel and fleece, display
I've
your
seen-
brand with Signs of the Times.
I've seen episodes of South Park,
Elkhart.com.
so I know everything about it.
You-
I've never
You younglings, man.
sat down and watched it.
You younglings.
It's also, my parents would not appreciate me watching it. Didn't have a computer. So
That's why you weren't raised right. I remember when it was the most controversial thing on
Netflix
television.
does not have South Park. Hulu has South Park.
Yeah, Hulu's got South Park, or you can go to southparkstudios.net because South Park makes all of their episodes available for free.
Woot.
Every single one. Yeah.
Is it ad?
They are I think they have some ads, but it's not overbearing.
But if you have a Hulu,
They're libertarians, so
you have a Hulu account.
yeah, it's everything's on Hulu, including the new episodes, and they run real time.
I don't know if you have to have a live TV subscription.
Nope, you don't.
Don't?
Nope.
Woo, woo.
You get them like the next day. So, see, I'm about
Yes,
to
Mike,
turn
but you need to support the official release. We can't condone that.
for what?
Finding it on YouTube and watching it.
Oh, Smug Alert? Yeah. But if you go to southparkstudios.net, I think, they have it. It's like one of the most popular episodes. PC Principal. I wasn't sure I was going to like him, man, but I love PC Principal. Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Once again, I'm your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595-953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. All right, this keeps coming up, so we're going to talk about the 45 communist goals. This actually came up at Pass the Mic today when we were at a Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill. First, I got to tell you about our sponsor, Second Amendment Arms and Range, located in New Carlisle. 10 dedicated shooting lanes. They are indoors, folks. You can get out of the weather. And they have rifle and pistol. You can rent both. So test out the firearms that you're looking at buying. If you just want to shoot something different, you can go ahead and rent something there as well. And you get half off just by mentioning me. How awesome is that? Go to secondamendmentarms.net for more information. All right, so Willard Cleon Skousen. Now, Cleon Skousen was an American conservative author, faith-based political theorist, notable anti-communist, and supporter of the John Birch Society, which doesn't mean much. So anyway, the reason that I bring him up is because he was in law enforcement. This is a guy who was with the FBI, who was a sheriff in Utah, but he wrote the book, The Naked Communist. Now, The Naked Communist, in that book, has the 45 communist goals. For about 15 years on my radio program, a little bit less than 15 years. I haven't been doing this for 15 years, 13, 14 years, right? I have been talking about this. Now, I don't know, maybe 3-4 years ago, other radio hosts started bringing it up.
And when I started doing the 45 communist goals, it was about 2/3 of the way done. As I read through this list for you today, before we head into open lines at 5 o'clock, you will notice that it's pretty much complete. Now, the 45 communist goals were actually entered into the congressional record by Albert Herong Jr., and that was in the 1960s, the early 1960s, I believe. It was written in the 1950s. So this was basically the 45 things that communist operators were trying to do to subvert American culture in the U.S. and to take over from within. Now, when this came out, obviously, it came out in an era of anti-communist, some would call hysteria, but at the same time, it ended up being proven true because the KGB, after the Soviet Union fell, many former officers, many defectors that actually said, no, he was actually right. We had programs in place to do exactly this. So number one, the first communist goal of the 45 was U.S. acceptance of coexistence as the only alternative to atomic war. That happened. Number two, U.S. willingness to capitulate in preference to engaging in atomic war. That happened. Still is happening. Actually, Trump is reversing that policy. Three, develop the illusion that total disarmament by the United States would be a demonstration of moral strength. That happened. Four, permit free trade between all nations, regardless of communist affiliation and regardless of whether or not items could be used for war. That has happened. Number five, by the way, conservatives even support that. Number five, extension of long-term loans to Russia and Soviet satellites. That happened. Number six, provide American aid to all nations regardless of communist domination. That happened and happens. Number seven, grant recognition of Red China, the admission of Red China to the United Nations. That happened. Number eight, set up East and West Germany as separate states in spite of Khrushchev's promise in 1955 to settle the German question by free elections under supervision of the UN. That happened. Now, keep in mind, this is written in the 50s, okay? Prolong the conferences to ban atomic tests because the United States has agreed to suspend tests as long as negotiations are in progress. That happened. Number 10, allow all Soviet satellites individual representation in the United Nations. That also happened. Number 11, promote the UN as the only hope for mankind. If its charter is rewritten, demand that it be set up as a one-world government with its own independent armed forces. Well, first of all, promoting the UN as the only hope for mankind did happen and continues to happen. Rewriting the charter and demanding that one world government with the own independent armed forces, that is actually proposed annually at the United Nations. It gets close, but the veto powers of some countries kill it. 12, resist any attempt to outlaw the Communist Party. That happened. In fact, when I was in Las Vegas, the Clark County School District had a policy against any known or admitted communist being a teacher, and they revoked that policy. So you could be an open communist in the Clark County School District and still be a teacher. Number 13, do away with all loyalty oaths, which is exactly what they are trying to do with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star-Spangled Banner. Number 14, continue giving Russia access to the U.S. Patent Office. That happened. 15, capture one or both of the political parties in the United States. Anybody want to try and deny that one? Have you seen the Democrats running for office right now? By the way, Republicans are on this too, but I'm just saying, clearly the Democratic Party has been captured. And there's a lot in the Republican Party who are right there with them. Capture one or both of the political parties in the United States. And what do we have? We have a communist, because he's not a democratic socialist, Bernie Sanders. He's an actual communist running for office. We have elected a bunch of young socialists on the Democratic side to office. There's a lot of Republicans who support them on many issues. So that's number 15 of the 45. We'll do the rest coming up, and then we'll lead right into open lines starting at 5 o'clock. You can call about any issue that you want. 574-25-95-95-3. More coming up, 95.3 MNC.
Casey Hendrickson.
95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Your breaking news and weather station.
Weather served up by the Prime Table Restaurant in Niles. Does your family or group meet regularly for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Just call the Prime Table to reserve tables for your next gathering.
Now, your home comfort experts, heating specialists 5-day forecast.
Nothing but sunshine, really, for majority of today, with temperatures warming up near 40 degrees. Breezy conditions, though, are going to make it feel even a little bit chillier at times, and that's the case for tonight, with an overnight low of 22 degrees. For Saturday, though, we do make it up to 46 degrees underneath plenty of sunshine. A gorgeous day to get outside, and even a little bit warmer for Sunday as we top out at 53 degrees. You'll notice clouds, though, starting to increase.
Oh, well, let's change it. Fine.
Sorry, I was just saying that Joe was right about the website. It's no longer southparkstudios.net. It's now southpark.cc.com. So it's on Comedy Central. Sorry, I pushed the button. I just didn't push it hard enough, which is exactly what she said on prom night. Z-Bart. I love me some Z-Bart. All right, so we got Mike and Freak Fight. Jeez, man, you guys are just engaging in one hell of a conversation with one another. Holy smokes. Yeah, I dropped down a little bit.
Yeah, that's News Channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
And I'm Greg Slable. I've been selling pre-owned vehicles at Lock Monday Motors for 16 years. Greg and I have been working together a long time, and every year there's a lot of excitement.
Hey, Casey, where can you get a copy of the list?
Purchase The Naked Communist, or you can go to my website, and I will have it in the Daily Show Prep today.
You can either purchase The Naked Communist, or you can go to the burningtruth.us after the show, and it'll be in the Daily Show Prep.
Every need and every budget. There are a lot of options for what you can do with your tax return. Buying a new
Sir.
vehicle from Lock Monday Motors is the best way to make that dollar go further and get more for your money. Using that money as a down payment.
No, I did not hear any of the interviews that Beck did.
You are right now for a lower payment. Lock Monday Motors values of honesty and integrity are evident to customers and employees alike.
Yeah, so Jim, the rumor today is that we should get something today about the Mueller report. Because he's not going to go ahead. He's not going to call any more witnesses or anything like that. He's not conducting any more interviews. He's done. So if it were to drop, it would be late today because you drop everything on Friday. That's just how it works in politics. And then you give everybody the weekend to talk about it and kind of peruse it, and it hits full-fledged on Monday. So don't be surprised if the Mueller report gets dropped today.
Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in
Match your gamer tag, yeah.
A lot of people do that.
What is your real name anyway, freak?
Thank you if you're one of them.
I think I know who you are, but I'm not 100% sure.
This special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3. Plus free shipping.
Is Harry's
Just go to harrys.com
Dollar Shave
and enter 1616 at checkout. That's harrys.com.
Okay, I've had Dollar Shave Club before. I've never had Harry's, but I've seen the Harry's razors, and the Harry's razors are better razors. The Dollar Shave Club might very well. Okay, I thought you were Dean. I wasn't sure. But yeah, so Dollar Shave Club may be a better service, but Harry's, the razors are high end. They're like really
Harry's
nice.
also offer everything else like Dollar Shave Club?
I don't think they have as many things, but they offer several
Dollar
things.
Shave Club now offers
Yeah, because they've got like all of that stuff. Now.
everything.
Yeah.
This is Dave
Anything that
here to talk about
you need
Rain
to
Drain.
take care of
Rain Drain
yourself.
is your local dealer for
Probably
the
including,
amazing leaf guard, no clog gutter
flushable
system.
dude
Leaf
wipes.
guard is the only seamless
Version of
one.
dude.
Probably. I mean, we can always just go to Harry's and take a
I know we
look.
could just look.
I mean, they're in
We do have the
Walmart. They're in
power
Walmart now too, but
Rain Drain will clean your gutter.
but their razors are really nice. They're sharp. They're metal, and you can get different colors and stuff like that. Harry's. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. Not that I give a rat's ass about razors anymore. Products. Oh, that is a slow website. Oh, Lord.
Our internet's being weird today too.
Is it? Hey, good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595, 95.3. That is 2595-953. Want to thank R&B Car Company, locations in South Bend and Warsaw. R&B Car Company are your used car experts. So we're live streaming on YouTube as normal today. So go to youtube.com/Casey the host. But today's the first time we've actually broadcast the radio show on Twitch. Of course, I use Twitch for gaming and stuff like that, but we've never broadcast the actual radio program on Twitch. Today's the first day. It's been a pretty steady day. Been working out pretty good. We appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Go to twitch.tv/Casey the host, and you can hang out with everybody there. If you have a Twitch account, please follow. And that way we can go ahead and continue to build the community over there. Sorry, Facebook, we're not streaming to you today. All right, so we're talking about the 45 communist goals. I have referenced that it's time to do this again several times over the past couple of weeks. I've actually had listeners, several, reach out to me both on Discord and via email and on social media and tell me it's time to do it again. And I actually had somebody say that it's time to do the types of governments in the cow model as well, because I haven't done that in a long time. That's always a good one. It's very visual. People kind of get it when you do that one. So I figured, it came up again today at Pass the Mic. Might as well do the 45 communist goals. We left off at number 15. Now, number 15 was capture one or both of the political parties. Now, we've already had people call and ask where they can get it. One, this was published in the book by Cleon Skousen called The Naked Communist. You can still purchase this book. I recommend everybody get it and read it. Two, this is always a featured post on my website at theburningtruth.us, and I will include a link to it in today's daily show prep. Okay, so you can go to theburningtruth.us after the show, and there will be a link to this post. I've been talking about this for, like I said, 13 years. Okay, capture one or both of the political parties. Number 16, use technical decisions of the courts to weaken basic American institutions by claiming their activities violate civil rights. Yeah, that's happening. Get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum. Get control of teachers' associations. Put the party line in textbooks. That's number 17, but let's be honest, that is numerous, and every single solitary one of those things has demonstrably taken place. Every single one. That's actually what happened today at Pass the Mic. An individual made reference to that same thing, and I looked right at her and said, that's one of the 45 communist goals. Number 18, gain control of all student newspapers. Done. Well, not all of them, but pretty darn close. 19, use student riots to foment public protests against programs or organizations which are under communist attack. G, Occupy, Antifa, the like. Infiltrate the press. Done. Get control of book review assignments. Done. Editorial writing. Done. And policy making positions. Done. That's all number 20, by the way. Number 21, gain control of key positions in radio, TV, and motion pictures. Done, done, done. Dun, dun, dun. Should have done it that way. Number 22, continue discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to eliminate all good sculpture from parks and buildings and substitute shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. Yeah, that has happened all over. And right now, they're talking about tearing down all these historic statues, okay? Number 23, control art critics and directors of art museums. Our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsiveness, and meaningless art. 24, eliminate all laws governing obscenity by calling them censorship and a violation of free speech and free press. Done. Break down cultural standards of morality by promoting pornography and obscenity in books and magazines, motion pictures, radio, and TV. Done. Present homosexuality, degeneracy, and promiscuity in general as normal, natural, and healthy. Done, although I have issues with that one. Keep in mind, we're talking about the 1950s. Infiltrate the churches and replace revealed religion with social religion. Hello, University of Notre Dame. 28, eliminate prayer or any phase of religious expression in the schools on the grounds that it violates the principle of separation of church and state. Heck, we have whole organizations that do that now at the taxpayer's dime. Discredit the American Constitution by calling it inadequate, old-fashioned, out of step with modern needs, a hindrance to cooperation between nations, and a worldwide basis. That is literally the Democratic Party's platform these days at the national level. Number 30, discredit the American founding fathers, present them as selfish aristocrats who had no concern for the common man. Done. 31, belittle all forms of American culture and discourage the teaching of American history on the grounds that it was only a minor part of the big picture. Give more emphasis to Russian history since the communists took over. Yeah, partially done. Support any socialist movement to give centralized control over any part of our culture, education, social agencies, welfare programs, mental health clinics, etc. Done, done, done is the Democratic Party platform. Eliminate all laws or procedures which interfere with the operation of the communist apparatus. Done. Eliminate the House Committee on Un-American Activities. Done. discredit and eventually dismantle the FBI. Hey, it's kind of happening. Although the FBI, largely responsible for doing it to themselves. 36, infiltrate and gain control of more unions. Done. Infiltrate and gain control of big business. Also, for the most part, done. Transfer some of the powers of arrest from the police to social agencies. Treat all behavioral problems as psychiatric disorders, which no one but psychiatrists can understand or treat. Done. Partially. Remember, Obama proposed that civilian police force a while back. He abandoned it because it was unpopular. 39, dominate the psychiatric profession and use mental health laws as a means of gaining coercive control over those who oppose communist goals. Done. Discredit the family as an institution. Encourage promiscuity and easy divorce. That's number 40. I would add abortion on demand on that one as well. Done. 41, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents, attribute prejudices, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. Done. Create the impression that violence and insurrection are legitimate aspects of the American tradition, that students and special interest groups should rise up and use, quote, united force to solve economic, political, or social problems, also known as Antifa. Overthrow all colonial governments before native populations are ready for self-government. Partially done. Internationalize the Panama Canal. Done. And number 45, ladies and gentlemen, repeal the colony reservation so the United States cannot prevent the World Court from seizing jurisdictions over domestic problems. Give the World Court jurisdiction over nations and individuals alike. The Obama administration attempted it. The United States Supreme Court shot it down. When I first started reading this list, 2/3 of it was done. You can say 1.5 aren't complete yet, but there have been attempts. That's in the past just over a decade, 13 years or so. Huge, dramatic changes in our society have happened. Now, keep in mind, defectors from the Soviet Union who worked with the KGB and former KGB officers who have spoken publicly about this said they had programs in place to do this because they knew they couldn't beat us in an armed conflict. So they had to change the culture. It's one of the reasons that they infiltrated the civil rights movement. It's one of the reasons they infiltrated hippie movements and things like that. There was KGB agents at Woodstock, for crying out loud. It was a way for them to enter counterculture in the United States in order to influence people who would grow up to become professors and politicians and business leaders and, of course, parents. The 45 communist goals found in The Naked Communist. I encourage you to purchase it. They will be in the Daily Show Prep today, written by Cleon Skousen, again, former FBI agent and sheriff in the state of Utah. Open lines are coming up next on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Don't forget you can watch us live streaming on Twitch and YouTube at Casey the Host. Open lines next, 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM and HD1, Niles, South Bend, Elk.
All right, let's go ahead and reset the YouTube chat. Got to reauthorize. I noticed that a lot of you who were formerly on YouTube or on Twitch today, is that going to be a regular thing, or is that just you testing it out?
We've got an early damage estimate from Nebraska suggesting the damage there is $1.5 billion in Nebraska alone. Iowa's governor requesting emergency federal relief put the damage in her state at $1.6 billion. A substantial portion of that is lost to livestock and crops.
Boxes like Tobin and Machesney Park, Illinois, where floodwaters are beginning to recede. In Iowa alone, the governor's disaster request to the president lists 25,000 structures damaged.
Just boosting numbers and checking it out. I appreciate the honesty. You left work without turning off Twitch?
Falling 2%. Boeing shares sliding again after
Better picture on Twitch? Yeah, Twitch is a really good streaming platform. That's what they do. All right, so they got shaving, they got facial care, they got showers, and they have accessories at harrys.com. They have the Truman set. Harry Truman. They have the Winston set. Harry Winston. Let's see. They got the blades. They got the post-shave mist, shave gel, cream, different razors. The Truman is the multicolored razor. The Winston is metal. Facial care, so they got some balm, some wash, some lotion. Detoxifying face mask. Actually, it's a really reasonable price. Only $20 for that. Shower gel, shower bar soap, body wash, boxers.
Michiana's News Channel. Would you like to talk to Casey?
Stiff.
All right, can I get your first name? Alrighty, I'll try to get you on there, Jeff. You are first in line.
My music is playing. It's El Ko Ase. Let's be honest, John's newscast sounds better with my music playing in the background. Yo, doggy, yo, doggy. What the heck is going on over there, dude? You have one job. It's chaos over here. All sorts of things are playing where they can't play. Plus, if you can host in my boost numbers, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thank you much. Al, you can stick to YouTube, buddy. I'm not trying to get people to migrate over to Twitch. I just figured I would offer a different alternative that might work out better than Facebook, since Facebook is throttling the snot out of me right now.
Fixed itself.
Oh, it fixed itself. All I had to do was screw things up for 2 minutes, and then it finally fixed itself. That's awesome. John's newscast sounds great when you can't hear it. Funny. All right, so I got to get my new Discord link for today. I forgot to change it in YouTube, so the Discord link in YouTube is not the active link. So I'll put it on Twitch for everybody. I'm ready to go home. It has been a day. The good news is I have my early Fridays. The next 2 weeks I don't have to do them because one of my boys is going on vacation, so I don't need to record those early shows anymore.
Blocked app and work at the data center for over a swing.
They don't want you watching the Twitchy, huh? What's up, Grams? So that is the active Discord link for the next 24 hours, folks. Get it and join the horde. On Discord. See, in Vegas, I had access to a band who would play me anything that I wanted. So if I ever wanted parody music, they would do it. I don't have that here. I really miss it. He was like a hair band, like a hair metal band guy. So it was always over the top lyrics. It was great. I miss that.
You're eating in just 30 minutes. To be part of Martha's at-home taste test and get 3 free meals, be one of the first 100 people to text the word food to 246810. It's so easy. Text us now. Martha and Marley spoon meals.
So are you saying that other people show way more subscribers or thumbs ups than you are getting in general? Is that what you're saying?
Be part of Martha's at-home taste test and get your 3 free meals. Be one of the first 100 people to text food to 246810. That's food to 246810.
That is weird.
To 246810.
So I'll go over. I'm going to go and watch it like as a user. I want to see what it says. I've got 41 watching now and I have 40 thumbs ups. I just went there to look. No downs today, though. So the Twitch live chat doesn't appear to die on XSplit like the YouTube one does.
severe drug withdrawal symptoms, according to the lawsuit. Multiple staff members are named in the suit, which says the inmate was not given his prescribed medication. In February of last year,
I gotta get through some of these emojis, man. I gotta take a look at them. Oh man, they got a Mao, like not commie Mao, but like dead mouse Mao. Cheese, which we can't have because those are Packers fans, and Packers fans suck. What else? Oh, heck yeah, dude! Dude, how did nobody see this? How did you? Nobody saw my Illuminati triangle? They got an Illuminati emoji, man. Dude, come on.
So because of the glitch, it glitched out on me, and so it's not going to play your open. So.
Oh, it's not going to play my open.
Yeah,
so I just get to talk? Like some amateur? Is that it?
No, you have music.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate it. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Phone number 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595953. Somebody sent me a text that says, whoa, what happened here? Jay-Z's news with background music. Well, yeah, we made it better. Anytime you add my theme music to the back of John telling you the news, everything gets better. Yes, we were aware of it, but Communist Joe was insufficient in fixing the problem in time until it fixed itself, and then he proclaimed victory. Happy Friday, everybody. The final hour free-for-all is starting now. That means you get to call about anything that you want. It is open lines, your choice, your topic. I don't screen them. I just take them in the order that we get them. So if you want to bring up an issue, now is the time to do so. 574-2595-95.3. That is 2595953. You can also send a text message to 45364. Please put MNC at the beginning of that message. To the phone lines we go. Jeff, you're first up today. How you doing?
Hello. Casey?
Yeah.
Hey, I've been beating my head against the wall, man. I need your help.
I'm not medically trained, but okay.
What's up with all this? The cat's out of the bag. The big players are out in the forefront. They're all exposed. And why is President Trump on the second Attorney General is just sitting back and taking this?
Well, it's actually kind of funny that you mentioned that because this is breaking news. Mueller has submitted his report to the Attorney General, and we heard that it might happen today, and that has just happened. So Mueller has submitted his report to the Attorney General. Of course, the president yesterday said, let everybody see it. The Democrats are running around and pretending that Trump doesn't want everybody to see the report, but Trump has always maintained that he felt the report should be public. He's never said it shouldn't be made public the past 2 years. But the question that you're bringing up is an interesting one. So we had the first Attorney General did not do his job, so he eventually got fired. And the second Attorney General has been brought in, but it doesn't feel like he's doing much either. Now, I will say that he has done a better job of defending the president on other issues. But again, part of it is what's going on with the probe and everything else. And maybe he wasn't going to do much, maybe because Mueller told him, hey, after the Manafort thing, I'm done. I don't have anything else, and I'm going to submit my report soon, and so he's probably just waiting. I don't know. Like I said, that happened today.
Yeah, I can't believe it, because that investigation by Mueller should have never even started on all this fake testimony and that fake dossier, and it's just all a bunch of phony
correct.
Get Trump. Crap.
Well, and here's the thing, a lot of the stuff that we had heard rumors that were leaks, okay, so we knew that they were coming from people in the know, but we didn't have documented evidence that we could hold. All of that stuff has now come out because the Freedom of Information Act requests and that sort of stuff has now come out, and we now know that Christopher Steele fabricated everything that was in there. We know that he cobbled it together from old articles in the Washington Post that he had written. We know that he used comments from just average everyday users on CNN's website to bolster that report. And then we also know now that the FBI wasn't misled by Christopher Steele and Fusion GPS, that the FBI knew that the document was garbage. Bruce Orr testified that he told him it was garbage, and they still took it to the FISA court.
Right. And another thing I don't get, Casey, is, hey, I don't want anybody to take this the wrong way. You know, John McCain was a decorated war hero in my book, and he always will be. But man, that guy I think that's how President Obama wound up in there. I just don't think anybody could gut hitting the button for him come election day.
I don't know a lot of people who voted for John McCain. I know a lot of people who voted for Sarah Palin.
Right.
And that was, and John McCain was very jealous of Sarah Palin. She was far more popular than he was. And I know because I know people in the campaign. And I had a lot of very, very close friends who were high up in the state campaigns of that presidential election. And he did not like her. And he was very jealous that she was getting all of the attention. But the Tea Party at the time, which was responsible for putting all of the gains in seats for the Republican Party in Congress, the Tea Party had nothing to do with John McCain. They didn't want anything to do with John McCain, but they were all about Sarah Palin. So the Tea Party was backing Sarah Palin, and John McCain was hoping that the Tea Party wave would help bring him into office. You know, the problem with that is you're dealing with a very unique situation where you've got, a young, popular black guy who was probably, obviously with the, when you're looking at the history of it, he was ordained to be the next person based on the history of the change of power with parties. But you throw in there that he was able to present himself the way that he did, and people were buying into it pretty darn quick, in spite of the fact that he wasn't saying much, as most candidates have now learned to do. Most candidates have learned to be vague. People are running around going, I want a policy position from you. Like this student, I think it was at Harvard, nailed Beto O'Rourke this week and said, when am I going to actually hear a policy position from you? And then Beto O'Rourke didn't give him any. And that's because that's what works. Trump did it too. I mean, that's, if you're vague, people can kind of infer what they want, and then your personality is kind of what wins people over. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting electoral time right now. And I don't know if we're going to get back to the way that things were kind of done before. I really don't know. I don't think that the American electorate has the patience for policy anymore.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing, if I may, Casey, before you go. I seen on the news this week, I swear to God, not on TV, on my phone when I was strolling through the news, but Hicklin Looper or whatever his name is out there, and I seen where he admitted, and his audience was laughing about him watching a porn movie with his mother.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. I know.
Crazy, right? Usually, I'm working usually late hours. I don't get.
Oh, I get it.
I wish I could, but man, what kind of sick-minded
dude? There's
dealing with.
No way I would have put that in my memoir. No way I would have talked about it. Certainly not while running for office. Yeah,
I'd be ashamed to tell anybody I watched.
Yeah, it was a little weird. He tried to explain it away. He's like, we didn't know it was that. We went there. My mom paid for it, so she was going to watch it anyway. And it doesn't really matter how you spin that. That's it's not going to hold water. So yeah,
I feel better already, Casey, talking
buddy.
to you, man.
Well, I'm glad. All right, you take care. Okay,
all right,
574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. This is interesting. Casey, how many times can you sharpen a pocket knife before it's bad? Does it depend on the steel? Wow, that's a really good question. Define bad. Like, what do you feel is bad? Will it still function? Will it still fold if it's folding? Do you have to have a certain blade width? You can sharpen a knife depending on the sharpener that you use, because some sharpeners just manipulate the metal on the sides and some actually remove metal. And if you have the sharpeners that are removing metal, your knife will continue to get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner until at which point it becomes too much of a liability to use it based on its usage and that the blade may break. As long as your heat treat is good and your edge is sharp and it is not dangerous for you to use, just sharpening your knife should not kill it. So as long as you maintain your heat treat. Now, there are tools out there that you can use to sharpen your knife, that, you know, belts and things like that, that can overheat the knife if you don't know what you're doing, and that ruins your heat treat. And at that point, it doesn't matter if you keep sharpening it, your knife is garbage. So you can keep sharpening it over and over and over again, and as long as that bad boy is working. Now, some steels will last longer than others, and some steels will take a better edge than others because steels are designed to do different things. But in general, as long as that knife's heat treat is good to go and you can put an edge on it, it is still a knife worth using. We've got more coming up for Open Lines on Newstalk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
KC.
Ooh, need to do that Z-bar.
That's just it. Like, a lot of people use those little draw things. Well, that's removing metal. So that's what Warren is talking about. And dude, I've seen people take chef's knives from this down to that, and they're still using it. It's really not going to do what it was designed to do, but it'll still cut, so you can find a use for it. But as long as that thing ain't going to break on you, you are good to go. What did you say?
Z-Bart read.
Z-Bart! Hello, Z-Bart.
Z-Bart.
Z-Bart, Z-Bart, Z-Bart. Hello, Z-Bart. Alrighty. I need to grab a little bit more water, so I'm going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to play a commercial, because I haven't played an ASD commercial on the live stream in a while, and this will be the first time the Twitchies have been able to actually see it. So I'm going to play the commercial, I'll be right back, and have my water refresher. So that commercial was fully functional yesterday. I don't know what the heck happened to it. Okay, I gotta send a message to my lender.
And yes, there's a strong hop flavor, but again, the most important thing with any IPA, it has to be balanced. And they nailed it with this one. You get such a strong hop flavor, but when you're expecting that the super bitterness in the back end, that's when the honey malt kicks in. The sweetness really balances it out to make it a smooth flavor from start to finish. Great. Go out and catch a wave, grab a chill wave from Great Lakes Brewery. Thanks for listening to Chris's Craft Corner. Now go share a beer with someone else.
Look for the craft beers Chris talks about and listen to Chris's Craft Corner on MNC.
All right. I just realized what happened with my earnings money check.
Your deck is not the way you want.
Tracy's lurking as she drives home. All right. All right. Wow, that is a lot of sun coming behind me. Jesus.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you
Holy smoke. Man, thank God I got that flag, huh? I would be a silhouette right now if that weren't for that.
Everything is measured twice. Graver Customer Modeling works with higher-end vendors, materials, and craftsmen to complete
Do.
and meet with the Graver team. You begin to see what custom really means.
Yeah, I don't know what the weird boxes were on that, because the last time I checked that streaming commercial, it was just fine. So
Customer Modeling. Online at gravercustomermodeling.com.
maybe I doth not know. Like it appears to even be on there now. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. Twitch is making weird things happen. Huh? Oh, is that what that is? Okay, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea what happened there. No clue. Daniel's back. Yep, there's breaking news on the Moeller report. Ho, dilly dally. As soon as I tell you how to protect your paint and your interior with Z-Bar to South Bend. Do. So this is a 20-minute old story.
Man, that's old, man. I don't know why.
Okay, 20 minutes is the oldest I have on this story. Most are the last 7 minutes, so this is brand new. Oh, dilly dally. I guess I have to post this social media and do my job, right?
Be cool.
I guess. All right, here we go. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3. It's time. All right. We have breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. But first, I got to tell you about Z-Bar to South Bend. So here's the deal. A lot of you are taking that amazing car or truck out of your garage because you've been babying it for the winter. Not that I blame you. If I had one of my vehicles that I really wanted, like the Mustang that I gave up, I would be doing the same thing as the rest of you. And you probably think, you know what? I don't get a lot of time with this car living in this environment. I would like to be able to enjoy as much time as possible with it. So why don't you take it to Z-Bar to South Bend? And why don't you get the ceramic Z-Gloss paint coating? Now, this is a unique and exclusive coating for your paint that is only available at Z-Bar. And of course, Z-Bar, you know, they've obviously been using the Z-Gloss paint coating for nearly 60 years. They've got this experience out there. But this stuff, it's ceramic. It's a protective layer. It enhances the gloss, shining characteristics of your vehicle. It locks in that gorgeous shine to your car or truck. And it also, it just looks way, way better than it did when you first bought it. I've seen it in person. It's amazing. This is chemical resistant, impact resistant, rain resistant, especially acid rain, UV resistant, temperature resistant, scratch resistant, you name it. This protects your vehicle. Again, there's 3 coats that go down on this thing. To learn more about it, go to zbar.com. But you know what? Just get it done to your car. You don't have to wax and polish your car for 7 years. Think about that. That's more driving time. That's more time cruising for the ladies or the guys with your vehicle and not having to worry about waxing it. So go to Z-Bar to South Bend, let them know that I sent you, and get yourself some ceramic Z-Gloss paint coating. Don't buy that cheap garbage that's in the store. It doesn't work as good. Ceramic Z-Gloss, Z-Bar to South Bend. Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen, as we told you 15 minutes ago, roughly, about that, which is like 5 minutes after it broke. Special counsel Robert Mueller today wrapped up his nearly 2-year investigation into Donald Trump and Russia, sent his report to the Attorney General. No details of the findings have been released. This is your typical Friday dump. We'll learn a little bit here and there over the next couple of days, and Monday will be the big news day. But the Attorney General said that he may be able to brief congressional leaders on the report as soon as this weekend. I am reviewing this report and anticipate that I may be in a position to advise you of the special counsel's principal conclusions as soon as this weekend. That's what he wrote in a letter to a group of lawmakers on the House and Senate Judiciary Committees. Barr also concluded in his letter that Mueller's investigation relentlessly attacked as improper and a witch hunt by Trump was conducted properly. Barr noted that he was required to inform congressional leaders if Mueller had done anything inappropriate or unwarranted. Now, I suppose that depends on your definition of inappropriate and unwarranted. Inappropriate and unwarranted for many people could mean, well, he investigated things outside of the scope of the investigation. And that's really where all of his gets happened, ladies and gentlemen. So there's a lot of people who would disagree with the Attorney General's assessment there. Of course, the caller that we just had on was not very happy with the new Attorney General. There were no such instances during the special counsel's investigation, Mueller said. Trump outside lawyers Rudy Giuliani and Jay Sekulow issued a statement saying that we're pleased that the Office of Special Counsel has delivered its report to the Attorney General pursuant to the regulations, and the Attorney General Barr will determine the appropriate next steps. White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said that we're pleased that the Office of Special Counsel has delivered its report to the Attorney General pursuant to the regulations. Attorney General Barr will also determine the appropriate next steps. Wow, it's almost like they're issuing the same release, ladies and gentlemen. Who would have thought that they would coordinate those releases? But they are. So we heard earlier today that today might happen, that this might actually drop today. There was no more witnesses to call after the Manafort thing. There was nothing left for Mueller to do. Now, a couple of quick evaluations and observations here before we move into open lines again and continue to take your phone calls on this is that none of the people who ended up being pursued by Mueller had anything to do with any collusion. None of the people who did face charges or were convicted or anything or pled or anything had anything to do with collusion. So there doesn't appear to be any evidence of collusion anywhere. And that's really the thing that everybody is wondering about because, well, that's what this whole thing was about. It was about collusion. And since there hasn't been any evidence actually released of collusion, it is very difficult. I got some audible cheers at Pass the Mic today when I let them know that the Ukrainian government had opened a criminal investigation and a criminal probe into Ukrainian officials colluding with the Hillary campaign, because they did. Like I said, not in and of itself illegal in the United States. You're allowed to get information on your opponent anywhere as long as you're not doing a pay-for-play or something of that nature. But the Ukrainian government feels that there may have been some criminal behavior on Ukrainian officials' parts as they were doing that. So that investigation has now gotten going. That started yesterday. So this is a very interesting time for all of this to happen. But the Mueller report has now been handed to the Attorney General. The president has always maintained it should be public. Democrats have tried to say that the president is trying to keep it quiet, but publicly, the president has always said that he wants it to be public and everybody to be able to see it. He's always maintained his innocence and says he has nothing to hide. So Monday is going to be a doozer. So don't miss the show on Monday, ladies and gentlemen. All right, back to the open line phone lines. Lloyd, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hi. Hey, I just wanted to mention one thing. I don't know if you talked about this earlier or not, but Rod Rosenstein, to his credit, did give, I think it was Rosenstein, write a letter of guidelines to Mueller that basically stated that when he issues his report that he could not, if the person or individuals were not charged with anything, he could not put anything disparaging about those individuals in the report. I don't know if I said Rosenstein exactly who it was that did that, but that was just a blurb that had come.
Well, that would be Rosenstein. He's the only one that has the authority to issue those guidelines. Yeah. So if Rosenstein did that, that would be good.
And I just thought it's going to be interesting to see whenever the report does come out that if that was true, that he did send that letter of guidelines to what the report could contain. If Mueller, he's Mr. the book supposedly guy, if he followed that letter of instruction. And I think that if there was that letter of instruction and he did not do that, if he comes out and disparages people who were not charged, he's kind of lending himself to be disparaged himself over that. Well, you want everybody else to follow the rules. If you misremembered a date in your testimony, I'm going to charge you with perjury. And so I just thought I wanted to throw that out there for people to realize that that's something we need to watch for to see.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun weekend, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
All right, my man.
Thanks
I appreciate
for
it.
taking my call.
You bet.
Yep.
You take care.
Bye.
All right. More open line phone calls coming up in just a couple of minutes. MNC News Time is 5:31. Time to check out Masters Heating and Air Conditioning online at mastersheatcool.com. Masters gets there faster.
This is Michiana's breaking news and weather station.
I wonder what my tease is going to be for Monday. I don't know.
I don't know what it will be.
What will it be about? All right. Man, my throat is fighting me. It's so dry. What the heck happened to my...
I don't know. I just saw that happen too.
All right. I'm coming, YouTube. Jeez. Talk about Mueller, and all of a sudden YouTube goes down. Coinkydink? I think not.
On Thursday afternoon, students and members of the community of all faiths met at the Rotunda. They were joined by the university's president and other professors who gave invocation.
Mustang, are there any videos of you running into crowds? No, Mustangs don't run into crowds. BMWs do. What's your take on state militias? That's a good question. That's why I have both a Paragon and a Cobra Tech OTF. The blades are replaceable. Yes, they are. And Cobra Tech has these amazing new everyday carry blades. I dig those things, man. Those things are awesome. Really, really cool stuff. Lighthearted Switch, if you stopped by Indian since they got the Royal Enfield, had a sweet looking utility bike. I have not been there yet since they got them in. Just saw the videos and did the commercials for them. I want the Himalayan just because it can go off road as well. Although I really do like the military ABS one because I like that OD green. That thing is pretty.
Still want that stealth.
You want the stealth one? Yeah.
If I had a couple. If I had a better.
It's cheap though. I mean, yeah, it's.
Yeah,
I get it. Yeah, with you and. Yeah.
Also, I have no credit.
So, do you know you don't have credit, or do you just think you don't have credit?
I have no loans and no credit cards. Pretty sure I have no credit.
It doesn't mean that somebody doesn't have them for you. I came out of the gate, so when every one of my friends was turning 18 and all getting their credit cards and stuff, I had already been the victim of identity theft. So you never know. You might have a credit score of 410. You should probably check on that, bud. Just in case. YouTube is sucking today. Well, yeah, YouTube's been jacking with me. So
go to twitch.tv/Casey.
There you go.
And
Twitch.tv. Do the Twitch thing.
When we say food with attitude, what we mean is the finest American style.
Yeah, okay, so with the Twitch chat, don't get so butthurt about the widget. Honestly, I did not have enough time to place the widget appropriately. I'm going to work on that over the weekend and get everything kind of squared up. So hopefully everything works, okay? So I'm going to try and get myself in the middle and have YouTube there and Twitch there. Yeah. So that way it'll look a little bit better for everybody. You know, right now is kind of a testing day on Twitch, so I apologize. It looks a little goofy, but it's the first time. It's mostly about making sure the infrastructure works, kind of checking the engagement and stuff like that. So far, so good. If you're on Twitch, Tracy is begging me. If you're on Twitch, follow. Click that follow button, please. If you want to subscribe, I don't think you can subscribe yet, can you? I haven't earned the privilege of earning subscribers yet, but if you would follow me on Twitch, that would be great. That helps me become an affiliate, which helps me move towards being a partner, which lets people actually subscribe to my channel, which makes me money. And if I make money doing this stuff, then I'm more likely to do it, and I'm more likely to get you guys super amazing prizes.
Michiana's news channel. Would you like to talk to Casey? Alrighty, can I get your first name? Alrighty, Steve. I'll try to
Yeah, live stream is not my department, dude. Not with the audio. We had that major server malfunction that happened, so our audio live stream from the website that was jacked for a couple of days. It's supposed to be fixed, but allegedly, that was a night, dude. I felt so sorry for Terry or Tony, whatever. Oh, why do I keep calling him Terry?
You know Terry?
I do.
What does Terry do?
He drinks beer. That's it. Maybe that's why, because I call Tony Microbrew because his last name is Beers. So I call him Microbrew, and then Terry just, he's a big guy though. They're about the same size, but all he does is just drink beer. So Terry just drinks beer, and then Tony is Microbrew. Oh, his size has nothing to do with the micro part.
I know. What am I saying?
I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days.
Roland's YouTube's been fine.
Maybe the word is short.
And in any location. I am not a realtor or associated with any realtor. I'm a private real estate investor.
Yep, that was some wisdom right there. You know it.
3277. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind them payment houses. I even buy my tenant will pay me the rent houses.
Loses $5 billion in sales.
Great, because I love buying damaged houses too. I buy
they lost a $5 billion sale, yeah. That's no bueno.
A lot of money.
Yup.
Build a wall with that kind of money.
621-3277 or a cash.
Well, that was funny. I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
You build a wall with that kind of
money. Oh, you could build a wall with that kind of money. Durantion Zero, a game set in the 80s where you fight robots, made by the original Fallout developers. That's intriguing. Although the original Fallout was not my cup of tea. I like modern Fallout. The old top look down sort of thing was never really something that I was interested in. Yeah, not really something that Generation Zero, gotcha.
Plenty of soybeans in storage in Indiana, and you know what? I want them all. I'm Ryan Martin with Louis Dreyfus and
Priest is acquitted of 6 months.
All right. Dean's hosting my feed on his channel. That's pretty cool. Sweet, sweet, sweet. See, the Himalayan to me is like a really good balance between a Grom and just one of your dual-use bikes that get really expensive. Because the Grom's really cheap, but it's small. So people feel a little dorky riding around on the Grom, but they have so much fun on this stupid thing. So the Himalayan kind of gives you the best of both worlds, just being $44.99 or whatever it is. So it's really cheap. Oh, it looks similar to Fallout 4. Okay, I'm down for that. And good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson, about to sneeze. Woo! Did I hit that cough button in time? Holy smokes. Y'all just saw me have a big old sneaky sneeze on the live stream, so apologize about that. All right, phone number 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. We are live streaming on YouTube and Twitch today. So for those of you on Facebook are wondering, what the heck is going on? I'm a little sick and tired of Facebook's garbage, so I figured I'd give Twitch a go today. So go to youtube.com/Casey the host or twitch.tv/Casey the host or at Casey the host on YouTube or Twitch, depending on how proficient you are with those naming standards. All right, to the phone lines we go. Again, it is the final hour free-for-all, which means it is open lines. Steve, welcome to the program. Good afternoon.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm wondering if Casey knows how much a Squam Muller is getting paid for all this.
How much? What his salary is? That's a good question, man. I don't know what his salary. The last time we had an actual count of this was several months ago. I don't know that there's been a new count released. I would assume we'd probably know Monday, because now we'd have some kind of a final date on that.
Okay.
Moeller. Hey. Yeah, I'll see if I can figure this out. Yeah, I don't know. Man. I'm gonna have to look. And take a look at it. See if I can dig it up for you. But that's a good question. Really good question.
Okay.
All right.
What's he going to do? And
I found it. Robert Mueller currently receives $161,900 per annum for his role as the lead in the investigation of the U.S. Department of Justice. So almost $162,000 in salary.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. I'm sure there's some additional perks that go along with that, but yeah, not too. That makes him a 1%er, doesn't it?
Oh yeah,
162. Yeah. Yep. There you go. See, it didn't take me that long.
Yeah. Well, rock's he going to go crawl under now when he's done with this?
I don't know, but he needs to go. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. All right, buddy. I appreciate it, man. Thank you much. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Mueller pick. There's a lot of people who forgot who Robert Mueller was. He came back and oh, yeah, hey, Robert Mueller. I'm like, yeah, the guy who ran the FBI under one of the most tumultuous times in its history. That Robert Mueller? The scandal-plagued Robert Mueller that everybody says, oh, he's a straight shooter. Last caller before the last one made reference to that, too. If he really dots his I's and crosses his T's like everybody says he does, yeah, but that's not his history. Robert Mueller was very controversial as the director of the FBI. He had a lot of problems as director of the FBI. And I was not happy when he came back, especially knowing that he was a Comey buddy. That it didn't make a lot of sense to bring him back. He was a terrible pick from the very beginning, but so many people in the media and in politics just had no idea who he was. Everybody's got a short-term memory is what it is. Casey, lighthearted switch. Have you stopped by Elkhart Indian Motorcycle? Since they got Royal Enfield, I had a sweet-looking utility bike. And hold on a second, where did his number go? He got bounced around. The Himalayan I can afford. All right, so I dig the Himalayan. We were talking about this in the live stream. And so the Enfields, which are a traditional British bike, they're like the oldest, longest running manufactured motorcycle company in the world. And they're now at Elkhart Indian Motorcycle. And they got the Classic, which is a really cool, it's like it's like one of those cafe, almost like a cafe racer type bike. But they're meant for the street. But I like the Himalayan because the Himalayan is for on and off road. So it's a dual use bike. And I would really like a dual use bike. Obviously, my Indian Scout is a single use, not taking that off road. No way. So the Himalayan I really dig. And it's like $44.99 or something. It's like $4,500. So it's very affordable. And even the Classic, I think the most expensive Classic was under $7,000. Was it under 6? It was under 6. So yeah, and I really dig the Army Green one. If I had the money, I would own a Himalayan and I would own that Army Green one in addition to my Scout. But I don't have the money, so I won't. I will stay with the Indian Scout unless one of you wants to buy the Indian Scout, and then I will sell it to you with my logos and everything on there. I'll sign it if you want, and then I will go get a Himalayan and I will just wreck this town with that thing. Who needs a Lime bike if you've got a motorcycle that goes on and off road? I mean, honestly, right? Like, what do you need a Lime bike for? We didn't talk about Trump's approval of Israel claiming the Golan Heights at Monterey. We're at Monterey Mexican Bar and Grill for Pass the Mic today. I've been there. It's a strategic location. If Syria regained it, they could rain down mortars on the valley below because of its elevation. Exactly. And that's the reason that Israel took it. Remember, Israel was minding their own business when they were attacked multiple times from the Golan Heights. So they took it and they said, we're not going to give it back to you because it jeopardizes our major cities. And how many years has it been? Like 30 some odd years? Or no, that seems low. Has it been 50 years already? Has it really been 50 years? Anyway, it feels like it's been 30 to 50 years. 50 feels more right. That they've had control of it. So the president basically came out and said, it's been long enough. It's time to recognize that Israel has control of the Golan Heights. Now, he did that publicly a couple of days after he did it in writing. So I think it's good because it should be recognized. And if you have nations recognizing it, multiple countries are now moving their embassies to the capital of Israel, now in Jerusalem. So that is happening. I mean, he's been a tremendous leader when it comes to relations with Israel, without a doubt. And these are all positive developments, especially in the relationship between our two countries, but also the relationship of Israel with these other countries. And, you know, the media loves attacking Israel when it comes to the Palestinians, but the media completely ignored Hamas opening fire on their own citizens who were protesting against Hamas a couple of weeks ago. Completely ignored it. But of course, if there is 3 Palestinians that kill some Israelis, and there's a whole family that was just wiped out here this last week, and then Israel responds and kills 1 Palestinian, it's all over the news that Israel killed a Palestinian. They don't talk about the other stuff. So when they were protesting against Hamas, because Hamas forces the Palestinians to do this stuff largely at gunpoint in many cases, and they opened fire on these protesters or peaceful protesters, our media didn't even bother to pick it up. We got more open lines coming up on News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel.
Keeping you connected with breaking.
You know, I didn't used to be a cafe racer type of guy, but the more into motorcycle culture I'm getting, I really dig them. I really do.
All right, can I get your first name? What? Alrighty, I'll try to get you on there, Ben. 52 years, according to
50. That seems more appropriate.
1967.
Yeah, 30 years felt way because it was before I was born. It makes more sense. All right, I want to get to this state militia question. That's a good one. Somebody's been thinking about building their own fire team. Interesting. Ben's calling back because he dropped it for some reason. Okay, hold on. 67 years? Is that 52? Okay, no. 52 years. Yeah. Someone offer him 20K. You give me 20K, I'll sell you the bike. I will sell you my Indian Scout for 20K. I will, for real. I will autograph it if you want me to, but only if you want me to.
Will do. Remember the phrase, early bird gets the breakfast burrito? He just wanted to tell you that it was 1967.
It was 1967, so it's 52 years. Okay. And Tracy's got that as well.
Tracy did get that right away.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy.
That Amish dude on Twitch took me a while, man. Said, "What's up? How you doing?
Hi.
Can the Amish be on Twitch?" I didn't know that the Amish could be on Twitch, but I'm stoked that you are. So thank you. Make sure you follow me on Twitch, please. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Hey, you have the honor and the privilege of owning a motorcycle that has been owned and ridden by a celebrity, okay? You're going to deal with the markup there, Alex. You're going to be sitting on the seat that my nuts have been straddling, okay?
I'm on contents on Reddit.
Come on, every other celebrity sells their car and they automatically get a markup because they're a celebrity. You can get a markup on me too. Thank you, Happy. I appreciate it.
So if you're looking to build a new home and you love the sustainability idea, visit newenergybuilding.com. They'll help you build a zero energy home. Find more info at newenergybuildings.com. And the best part, zero never goes up.
If they're not joined to the Church of the Amish, they can do anything. Sweet. Did not know that. I thought it was all Rumspringa thing.
You can have the beautiful lawn you've always wanted without the hassle of figuring out how and when to treat it yourself. Are you done buying the heavy bags of fertilizer at the store, hauling them home, and then hoping you have the chance to...
Is there a truck nuts emoji on Twitch? Here, let me look at it. Truck Nope, just some dude's face. All right, how about nuts? Hold on a second. Nuts. Oh, nobody's got a walnut up there? Come on, man.
That'd be somebody's, one of their sub-emotes.
What's that?
Might be someone's sub-emotes that you can only get if you sub to them.
Could be. I would have that. The bike just devalued itself.
You can get 10K for it.
Negative. Although I think that is a good opening offer. They got the Jack in the Box, dude, on there. Sweet. Jack in the Box. You're deprived because you live in the Midwest. You don't know what Jack in the Box is.
You're talking about the emotes.
Yeah.
I know what Jack in the Box is.
But yeah, it's Jack, the mascot. Yeah. Man, they have the funniest commercials, dude. They did this amazing commercial where they were cops. And they busted some dude's house who was running away, and Jack tackled him and forced him to eat a burger. It was awesome. It was so good. Take care, Happy.
That contains nicotine for a satisfying transition. If you're one of the 34 million adults who smoke, know that
You could do that, Speed, or you could buy a well taken care of, garage kept, celebrity owned but lightly used Indian Scout with a custom paint job and custom logos and my signature. And if you get close enough to the seat, my eminence. Oh my God.
No.
That's good stuff.
If you're into that.
Huh?
If you're into that.
What, sniffing motorcycle seats?
Eminence.
Cruisers are for old guys. Yeah, mine's not really a cruiser, though.
From News Talk 95.3 Indiana's News Channel, your great news and weather station.
I don't think it's officially classified as a cruiser. They're just not offering me enough money, man. People are trying to buy my motorcycle from me. They're trying to buy my Indian Scout. I will sell it. I told $20,000. I will sell my bike, and I'm not joking. I'll sell it right now for $20,000, and then I will buy one of those Himalayans, and then I will paint it lime bike green, and I will drive around city of South Bend on my own version of an on-off-road motorcycle lime bike. I will totally do that. All right, 574-25-95-95-3. That is 2595-953. If you're watching on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, click on that bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video or go live. If you are on Twitch, please click that follow button so you can follow me on Twitch. That really helps quite a bit. Twitch has been pretty good for us today. Twitch has been a lot of fun. Okay, what do we have here? Somebody did send a message to say that's why I have both a Paragon and a CobraTech out the front automatic knife. The blades are replaceable. That is true. CobraTech has just released a really awesome new EDC blade, which is sweet. It really is cool. I enjoy it quite a bit. Casey, what is your take on state militias? What a good question. I'm not talking National Guard. I figured as much. Do you think that it would be a good idea to join a state militia? FYI, there aren't any for the Indiana area. However, I've been thinking about building my own fire team. First of all, I believe in fire teams. I think everybody should have their own fire team. That's just common sense American. Plus, you're in the state of Indiana. And if you are over the age of 17, I believe, in the state of Indiana, congratulations, you're a part of the state militia. So I don't really have an issue with state militias. Now, there are some militias that will name themselves as the state militia who get out of control. They're a little kooky. But for instance, in the state of Nevada, the Nevada militia actually had a really good relationship with local law enforcement and local military. In fact, they would offer assistance when needed. So it depends on where you're at. If the right people, good people are running it, yeah, I think it could be a really good thing. There's nothing wrong with getting together and training. If you're dealing with separatists and crazy folk, that becomes a different ball game. But everybody should have their own fire team. Casey, a Mustang? Are there any videos of you running into crowds? No, Mustangs don't run into crowds. Japanese cars or BMWs do. What else do we have here?
So have we never ended foreign aid to any country that we ever gave aid to? It's hard to find anything but minuscule cuts. We have cut foreign aid, but I don't know right offhand exactly which nations those were. I know that we have cut off aid, I think, to Venezuela, with the exception of trying to get food and stuff to the people there. But yeah, we have cut off aid. Sure. We did cut off aid to Iran after the hostage situation. And that's one of the reasons that Iran was not able to have an air force for quite some time, because they had bought a bunch of F-14s and a bunch of American planes. The Shah did, and they couldn't get parts for them. So, yeah, we have cut off aid, but for the most part, you're right. It's typically cuts, and we continue to provide aid to countries, even if we are at odds with one another. But also, good question. 28 states approximately have state defense forces, including Indiana, Ohio, and Michigan. I was in Michigan's for 11 years. All right, thanks for the information. I thought maybe Indiana had one. I mean, officially, again, if you're over the age of, I think it's 17 years old, and in the state of Indiana, you are a part of the militia. But as far as an organized actual outfit, I wasn't sure. The state defense forces are under the same command as the Army National Guard. Okay. Very good. Appreciate the information. Thank you so much. I know that in Nevada, there's a very close relationship with the state militia and the military and local law enforcement. Very, very close relationship. You know, you always heard rumors about certain militias and things like that being white supremacist groups and stuff. And you never know if any of that's true or not. I was too young when some of that stuff was going on. I'm sure there's some of it. But again, there's nothing wrong with having even just a small group of people. I know that I have some friends who do this. They have a small group and they meet, I think, once a month. They plan stuff out. They make sure that everybody has the basic supplies. They train together just in case something were to happen, you know, so they can make their way to one another and survive as a group. There's nothing wrong with having a close group of individuals and training together in order to be prepared. There's nothing wrong with that. That's frankly being responsible as a citizen. So, yeah, if you want your own fire team, get your own fire team. Nothing wrong with that. Just, operate within the parameters of the law. Don't do anything kooky or crazy to make me talk about you, and everything will be good. Nothing wrong with that. It's, frankly, again, responsible, being a responsible citizen. So kudos to you for even wanting to do it. All right, folks, Sean Hannity is coming up next. I want to thank everybody for watching on YouTube and Twitch today, and you'll have a wonderful weekend. I look forward to talking to you on Monday. Take care.
Are you looking...
Oh, yeah. All right, Mustangs are a menace. That's what happens when you stick European drivers in Mustangs. They don't know how to handle it. Ohio has a naval militia. Interesting. Huh?
No, they aren't.
Ohio? You have a good weekend too there, Al. Appreciate it. I just want to see Casey terrorize South Bend on a Lime bike. Heck yeah, dude. Let's do this. $20,000 to sell my bike. And I will buy a Himalayan. And we'll do that. That's what we will do. I say we, but I take all of the risk. But I will record it on my GoPro. Does that count? Have a live stream on the phone and then have the GoPro going. All right, so here's the deal. I will give you all a couple of minutes to go ahead and chat. And if you would like to ask any questions, make any comments before I bounce out of here, you got a couple of minutes to go ahead and do that, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch today. Entirely up to you. We can do the promo whenever you're ready, by the way, because I already know what I'm talking about.
The Trump presidential campaign and Russian officials in May of 2017. Before leaving for Florida, President Trump continued to claim.
You can follow my Instagram feed right there too. Thank you, Susie. Appreciate it. Ready. Casey Hendrickson here. So what exactly is in that Mueller report? We'll cover that and much more Monday, 3 to 6 on 95.3 MNC.
Serial flasher strikes again. I was here this time.
We got another serial flasher? Didn't Derek Dieter take one of those dudes down like 2 years ago? Yep, I have a Scout. I have a Scout 60 with a custom paint job. And it has my logo on the sides, flat black. It's so it. Needs more black, less chrome, but it doesn't have much chrome, so that's good. The Scout 60 is just a little bit easier to manage at low speeds. But when you get into third gear, it feels exactly like a Scout. Everybody says once you're in third gear, it's the same bike. But in lower gears, it is just a little bit easier to manage for a new rider. So that's why I went with it.
Thanks, Joy. Big losses on Wall Street. The Dow lost 460 points. The Nasdaq off 196. S&P off 54. This is Fox News.
Has dinner got you down? Sick of awful frozen meals or unhealthy fast food? Don't despair because Martha's Stew.
I'm going to have to cut out in about a minute or so, folks.
Give away 3 full-size meals from her new meal kit delivery service, Martha and Marley's Spoon. All fresh ingredients with Martha's.
Tracy wants somebody to give me 20. Funny. I want somebody to give me 20. Heck, I'd take 20.
It's so easy. Text us now. Martha and Marley's Spoon.
See, here's the thing, that it gets rid of my payment. So it gets rid of my payment. I won't have as nice of a bike, but I'll have a bike. When I got the motorcycle, I had just paid off my student loans. So I didn't have to worry about paying those anymore. So I got the motorcycle and that was fine. The problem is that since that happened, we ended up getting another car because our paid off SUV's frame cracked in half. So now I have a car payment that I didn't have before. So it's made things a little stressful. Well, yeah, the new house is a factor, and there's some other stuff that's a factor too. $3.50. I will let you look at the bike for $3.50. Have you guys seen pictures of it? Can I upload pictures in Twitch or no? Oh, I can't. So you can just carve out the actual video is what you can do. Gotcha. As long as it comes with free smells, you know it. You know it, my man. All right. I think YouTube might have died on me. Hold up. Let me go to YouTube real quick. Just in case my chat died. It's trying to load. You see that crap, man? Wife comes in here, just snags my damn card. Just like that.
I did see that.
Dude just snags it, man.
She just walked in while we were on it.
Walked right in. Like, give me money.
She's like, I ain't got gas. Like, plan ahead, Ron.
I'm serious about motorizing a line bike. Dude, does that not sound like a hell of a project? Warren, we could totally do that, bro.
Where's the video, by the way?
Yeah. Thank you, Roland. Do appreciate that. It's a great looking bike. Yeah, I think the Scout's probably the nicest bike on the road right now as far as a manufactured bike. Really dig it. Just a tad less, yeah, for the top end. That's true. I mean, not like I'm ever going to get there, but yeah, it's a fair point. Your hands look like this, so hers can look like this. Yep, fair point. Fish one out of a dumpster for me. Okay, so Warren, dude, I came so close. So I have a wholesale supplier that sells those friggin' motorized kits for bicycles. What if we did get one of those line bikes out of the dump, replace the wheels on that thing, and then throw that electric conversion kit on that bad boy? That could be fun, man. That could be really fun. Really, really fun.
And now on Alexa, when you tell her to enable the 95.3 MNC skill, your top news, traffic, and weather, and the #1 talk show lineup in Michiana, anytime, everywhere. News Talk 95.3, Michiana's news channel. Your
All right. Anything else before I bounce out of here? Or, yeah, I didn't mean that. Gas, yeah. Sorry, electric didn't make sense. Gas. No, it comes with a little gas tank. Gas tank's like this big or something like that. Yeah. 2-stroke. I have to find a supplier now that has it. I don't remember which supplier had it, but I was looking at it and was like, that's actually pretty affordable. I might do that. That would be good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to bounce because I got to handle some house buying stuff, but I do appreciate your effort and your time, and thank you very much for the support. Again, subscribe, thumbs up, all of that stuff. If you're on Twitch, please bang that follow button, even if you're not that active on Twitch. That's okay. I just want the followers. So go ahead and do that for me. I would really, really appreciate it. And you all have a wonderful day. You have 20 motors to choose from at your dad's. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Very cool. All right. I got to bounce, everybody. Have a good weekend. I'll see you later. I might be streaming some games this weekend, too.